Hello, 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 everybody. Like, I legit really love my intro song. Like, I find myself kind of like dancing to it every time. Hello, and welcome to my live stream. I'm bringing you yet another tutorial. For those who don't know who I am, this is Elaka here, and you are obviously on Elaka TV. And today we are going to be going through how to create a WordPress website, a beginner tutorial. So basically, if you have never ever attempted to create your own website, basically this is the tutorial for you that will help you along in at least getting a step ahead on how to create your own website for your own brand. Okay, and so yeah, I'm just going to put the ticker at the bottom for those who know this. I'm walking you through create your own website. Okay, and so before I do proceed, obviously I'm just going to do a little bit of housekeeping. Of course, if you are completely and utterly new to my channel, this is your first time here, I would very much appreciate it if you took a moment and actually went ahead and clicked on that subscribe button, and of course the bell button, so that you can receive notifications every time I upload new content, of course. And of course, please do join in the chat if you are watching live and you're available to actually join in the conversation. If you've got any questions about the tutorial that I am giving, feel free to post them. I will be posting the link to join me on this live, so that if you want to ask any direct questions where you want me to elaborate a little bit more to the questions that you're asking, I'm going to be dropping the link in the chat a little bit later on for that. Otherwise, for those who are also watching over on Facebook, please do not forget to give this video a thumbs up, give it a like, give the page that you are watching from, which should be the official Elaka page, give it a like, give it a follow, and of course, please do share the video, whether you're watching on YouTube or you are watching on Facebook. Please do go ahead and share this video so that other people who might be interested in creating their own website and expanding their brand identity will be able to utilize it for their own use. Otherwise, let me just close that out. So, with that said, like I mentioned, I am going to be going through with you how to create your own website from scratch. And so now what I will actually be touching base with is a couple of things. I'm hoping, let me see, look at the time. Hopefully, I'm hoping I can be able to just do this tutorial in like an hour and kind of I really am hoping I can be able to do this tutorial within a space of an hour, because I really don't want to do it to have to stay a lot longer than I need to. That and the fact that I still have to jump onto the other channel and upload a video over that size. So my schedule is a little bit tight. So I'm going to be showing you how to create your own WordPress website. And this is if you have purchased your own domain URL. And then I'm also going to be showing you how to create your own website if, for example, you do not have the budget just as yet to be able to create your own website from scratch using your own URL, but using WordPress as a subdomain, basically. Okay, so what I think I might actually start with, I'm going to start with the budget version, okay, where you have to create your website using wordpress.com as your URL extension. And then I'm also going to show you how you can go about doing it from scratch, basically, when it's your own domain, you've purchased your domain and it's your full intellectual property. And so I am just going to do a bit of a switcheroo with the screens that are in front of me right now. I'm going to put StreamYard over that side, and then I am going to just go ahead and open the tab over there. Let me see. Yep, that's fine. Okay, so let us go ahead and share the screen. So let's see, screen share. Window. Did I share a window? I think I will share that window, and then I'll see how that goes. Let's stream. Okay, so I am going to try and use the, let's see what option it has available for me. Picture in picture. There we go. That way you've got the full screen available to you. Now, obviously in this screen mode, let me just change it slightly and then I'll bring it back. No, that one. Thank you. Okay, as you can see right now, you can see the URL. Okay, I had to make sure to come back to this stage so that you can actually see exactly what it is that I am doing. And so in this instant, I am just literally going to go to www. Okay, I've got all caps. Let me just backspace. www. By the way, me having all caps and deleting that, it actually doesn't make a difference because it will automatically change it to lowercase anyways. It was just me being fussy. So if you've accidentally typed in www. In all caps, don't worry, it doesn't affect the URL that you are actually going to be logging into. So www. What am I? Okay, WordPress dot, there's too many S's, WordPress.com. Okay, you can see it's trying to get me to go to WordPress.org, but that one is the one that you use when you are basically trying to create your website from scratch using your own custom URL. But the one that you have to use when you do not have your own custom URL is actually this one. So let's go ahead. I'm just going to go ahead and hide this. That's on the screen. Okay, so I am technically already logged in because of basically the websites that I do own. And so you get to basically, hang on, let me switch. Where can I go? My sites. No, I'm not trying to go there. Manage sites, yes. Okay, on manage sites. Okay, so basically what you're looking at is an already established WordPress.com, right? Now, let's say, for instance, you have never even visited WordPress.com before, right? And you want to start from scratch. So what I am actually going to do, let me see. I'm just trying to think because I like to be really organized. And so if I do create a subdomain or that I want to use for the tutorial, I could, but let me just go ahead and log out. I'm going to log out of the Global Zambian. Okay, this is just so you can see the stages of being able to register with WordPress.com. Obviously, if you're watching this, you obviously already have an email address, right? And so the first thing you're going to do is you're going to click on Get Started, okay? If you do already have a WordPress account of some sort, and you might find that even if you're not internet savvy or anything like that, there's a high chance that you might already have a WordPress.com account, not necessarily a website, but an account, simply because a lot of websites do use WordPress. And because a lot of websites do use WordPress, especially those that have got communities where you can go and leave your opinion, leave your comments, it always asks you to register. And there's a chance that you might have registered with WordPress without realizing that you actually already have a WordPress.com account. So whatever email address that you registered your WordPress.com account with, you can actually use that email address to form a whole list of websites that are under your umbrella, basically. So you don't have to worry about, even if it's a personal email address, being associated with your business one, because once you've set up your WordPress website itself, you can assign it its own email address, especially if you want to separate your personal to your business. And so that's one way you can go about it. Or alternatively, if you do not want to use your personal email address to create your initial WordPress.com profile, you can always go ahead and create a brand new email address that you can utilize for that matches your business. So it's entirely subjective on what you can do on that particular part. It's not mandatory that you have to use your personal one. You choose whatever email address that you want to utilize. So you will click on Get Started. And then when you click on Get Started, you can see it asks you to input your email address, your username, and your password, and then it asks you to create your account. The other alternative, you can see it's offering you to continue with Google, which will allow you to go ahead and obviously log in with your Google account, or continue with Apple. And just for all intents and purposes, I'm just going to try and continue with Google. The reason why I've done this is because I've got the Global Zambian, and I'm just going to go ahead and I'm actually going to click on that. which should, you see, we found a WordPress account with email address, the global log into this account to connect. See, so that's what happens if you are already registered with that particular account. And like I said, if you didn't know that you accidentally might have registered with WordPress simply because you were maybe trying to join a community to leave a comment, etc., that sort of thing, you are likely to get a message like this, which is a good thing, because then it helps you be aware that you actually already have an account, and all you have to do is log in. Now, if you don't know your password, you can literally just create request for a password reset, and it will send you a password reset, and then Bob's your uncle. Okay, so in my case, roughly this is what you need to do: email address, username, and password, and then literally you are literally set up. And then once you are set up, now I'm going to go ahead and going to log in to the TGZ one. Okay, once it's logged in, and it will take me to, it should, hello, there we go. It should take me to connect your Google account, connect your WordPress account. Fine, I'm going to go ahead and ask it to connect because it is what it is. Okay, so now it's asking me to choose a domain, right? Enter some descriptive word, And so to choose a domain, basically, this is the stage where it asks you to choose whatever name it is. So in this case, for the sake of this tutorial, I actually went back and forth and back and forth and back and forth on the type of website that I was trying to create. And so here's the thing. I do have a domain name that I am currently not utilizing because I wanted to utilize it for something else in regards to my Sims side of my platform. And so I thought this would be the perfect opportunity to actually maybe get certain things in place for it, even if I'm still not ready to start utilizing it, but it's the perfect one to be able to utilize for this particular tutorial. And so in this case, choose a domain. So the domain I am actually going to choose, it's because I called it Sims Realtor. Okay, simsrealtor.com. Right now, it redirects to my EP Creative website, this one. That's what it redirects to. And so if I was to, I think I called, yeah, the Sims Realtor. I think I called it, hang on, the Sims Realtor.com. Let's see if it's the one. Yeah, it redirects to here. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm actually going to go into my domain hosting site, and then I'm going to stop the redirection. That way I can be able to actually create it as its own standalone website. But this is when we get to the WordPress, the custom domain URL WordPress site. So for now, I'm actually going to type the same thing, the Sims Realtor. Okay. And then now it's looking to see what availability there is. Now, here's the thing. If you are not registered with a domain hosting company or anything like that, it gives you the option to say, okay, what you want to do. Do you want to, select the Sims Realtor blog recommended? If you select that, obviously, it's free for the first year with an annual paid plans. So $22 a year. And then afterwards, basically, you start paying. So there are some options, especially if you're on a budget, that allow you to start off at either a cheap price or completely free, even with the custom URL. And then afterwards, obviously, you have to, stick to whatever plan that they give you in terms of the price that they're offering. So this one is saying $22 a year. At the bottom there, it's saying $8 a year. And this is for the domain name. Okay, this is not necessarily for hosting, it's for the name itself. I must warn you, URL extensions like blog, best, even .org to a degree, but not too much, social, movie, these ones with these actual names that will literally focus on the niche, they will probably, most cases than not, a lot of the domain hosting companies will offer you those URLs for free for the first year. Then afterwards, the prices are extortionate. So you have to be very careful. Look at this one, the simsrealtor.social, free for the first year with annual paid plans. But afterwards, you have to pay £30 a year for a domain name minus the hosting. So you have to be really careful. It depends on whether you think that you're going to get your returns from that domain URL. If I were you, I would stick to the usual ones, and the usual ones being either .co.uk or .com. those will always be within the same price range, rather than venturing out to something that will be extremely pricey. And also you will find that if you are, depending on where you are based, for instance, if you're based in the USA, .coms are actually cheaper if you're based in the USA, or if you are paying for your .com from an American company. But a .co.uk, if you purchase it from an American company, or if you are trying to purchase it from the USA, it will be more expensive. Whereas if you're trying to purchase it from a UK-based company, .co.uk is cheaper. So that's literally how it is. So that's just a little FYI. So in this case, we are creating the Sims Realtor, and we're acting as though, no, we don't have the dough right now to be able to pay for it. So we are going to go ahead and we are going to basically go for the free version. The free version, and by that I mean free for life. That's the simsrealtor.wordpress.com. Do I like the fact that it says wordpress.com because it's so long? No. But WordPress is very well known, so it's very easy for people to actually remember to do the whatever your domain name is .wordpress.com, because it is popular that way. So that's the one we're going to go ahead and select. So you go ahead and click on select, and then here it goes ahead and it still tries to offer you an option to pay for it. Okay, so here you can either go for personal for $4, $4 per month. This is now hosting, by the way. Okay, so we've gone past the stage for paying for the domain name itself. We've decided to go for the free version, which is the WordPress one, which means our name will be a subdomain of WordPress. And then now we are at the stage where we are being asked what hosting plan we want to choose. This is so that our website can be visible. So the difference between buying a domain name and hosting are that purchasing a domain name does not mean your website is going to be visible. It just means that you own that name or that particular URL, and that's it. It does not mean that your website will actually be able to go live for the world to see, because you have not requested for it to be hosted. And by hosting, I literally mean when your website is being hosted, there are hard drives, for lack of a better term, I suppose, hard drives, really massive ones, or should I, servers? Yeah, that's the word I'm looking for, servers. There are servers that companies actually either rent or own, and those servers are basically like massive hard drives where your stuff is actually kept there, and then it connects to W3, which is the one that owns www, for those who don't know, and it allows for your website to be visible on the World Wide Web. Hence it's called hosting, because they are hosting you there, almost as though they're giving you a house to live in. It's like your website is being given a place to kind of live in. It's temporary accommodation kind of thing. And so that's literally what that is. That's what hosting is. It's so you can be able to have your website be visible to the rest of the world. So you pay for your domain, which is normally an annual plan, although some places you can be able to actually pay for your domain name for 2 years in advance, 3 years in advance, even 10 years in advance. So if you've got the budget, my recommendation is pay for your domain name as far ahead in the years as possible, because the only thing you ever have to worry about is maintaining your hosting. And even with hosting plans, there are some companies that will offer you hosting plans a few years in advance. So I think you might be able to pay for 3 to 4 or 5 years, I think, if I'm not mistaken, in advance for hosting. That way you don't have to worry about renewals and things like that. But if you choose to go month by month and year by year, you can choose to pay for hosting by the month, annually. And then obviously the domain name itself, you can choose to either pay minimum 1 year, and then obviously you can add on additional years if you want. But with the domain names, every time you purchase a domain name, you do own it for an entire year. Once that year expires, it's up to you to either renew it, or if you do not renew it within the grace period, you will find that, especially if your website was popular or it was a URL that people were clicking to quite a lot, there are vultures out there who are ready to actually take your domain name and use it for advertising, or some of them will try to resell it back for thousands and thousands of dollars, because that does happen. Sometimes you find that if someone doesn't bite or ends up purchasing it, they end up letting go because they're just holding on to that domain name because they're paid for it, right? Whilst they're holding on to that domain name. And so if they see they haven't had any takers or anyone interested, they actually end up letting go of the domain name. And then it gives you the chance to be able to purchase it again in the future, basically. And so that's another option. But the best thing to do is try to avoid losing your website by renewing it every single year or paying at least some years in advance. That way, at least when the third year comes, then only then will you be able to be needing to renew it. Okay, so that's a little FYI in regards to domain names versus hosting. Okay, so now we are in the hosting section, which is what you're looking at right now. It's offering you an option for the free version. Get a taste of the world's most popular CMS, which is control management system. Wait, did I literally put it in the description and I can't remember what I wrote. I'm literally the worst. Hey, Princess AG. Hey, Princess AG. Welcome to my live stream. How am I not seeing the comments? This thing is so weird. There we are. Welcome to my live stream. We are going through how to create your website. So if you are looking to create a brand new website or to learn, this is the place to be right now. So basically, what was I saying? Yes, so it's control management system. I think that's what I was trying to say. Control management system, which basically allows you to create a website and maintain your website with some ease without too much tweaking. And also the good thing about it is places like WordPress, for those people who are not familiar with code using HTML or PHP and things like that, this is the type of platform that you need because it offers you templates that you can easily drag and drop, and you can easily follow instructions in order to create your website. And so the free version, it comes with some themes. The themes that it comes with, obviously, they always credit the author at the bottom. And to be honest, never be fussed about that, because at the end of the day, if you found a theme that actually works and it helps elevate your website, with time you will be able to actually move on to your own domain where you can actually be able to have a theme that you can customize to your liking that doesn't have the author's name at the bottom. And then it's got the option for built-in newsletters and RSS, brute force protection, smart redirects, online forever. Basically, it doesn't go offline unless you want it to. 10% transaction fee for payments. This is basically the 10% transaction fees for any form of payments that you make on your website through them. They will take 10% of those orders, which I think is fair because they're literally giving it to you for free. So they have to take something. Paid subscribers, paid content gating, donations and tips, payments buttons. This is where basically the 10% transaction fee comes from whenever you process any payments through them. And then obviously the other options that it's offering you, which is personal, premium, business, commerce, enterprise, etc. But for now, honestly, we don't really have to worry about any of those things because the most important thing right now is for us to actually try to learn how to create a website from scratch if you are a beginner. Okay, so in this particular instance, we are going to go ahead and click on start with free. Okay, and so it's saying turning and making you cookies. That is hilarious. Okay. So now, what are your goals? Tell us what you would like to accomplish with your website. Now, this is where obviously whatever it is that you are trying to accomplish with your website, this is your opportunity for you to be able to actually make it known here, because when you select your options, it actually helps you with finding the right template that would go with the type of market that you are trying to basically put your content out for. So write and publish, promote myself or business, import my existing website content, because yes, you can do that, sell online, and other. So I am going to put sell online, and I'm also going to put other. Okay. Promote my business or myself or business, no. Write and publish, no. Import my yeah, sell online and other. So it's probably going to recommend for me that I put WooCommerce with this one, but we're going to touch base on that in after we get into the website. So now the next step it asks you is your store name. Okay, the store name is basically, remember I said sell, right? So it's immediately detected. Okay, this is going to is this, but if I'm getting tongue tied. If this person is going to be selling online, there we go. I can speak again. If this person is going to be selling online, obviously what they need is a store. So what are we going to title it? In this case, I've already got a name, isn't it? The Sims Realtor. It's an ident. The Sims Realtor. Tagline. I'm just going to say so property. Might change it later on. There we go. Continue. And then pick a design. Like I said, when you pick what type of thing you will be doing, it does help to try and find you the right, basically the right type of design, the right type of template, so to speak, that you can be able to utilize. In this case, it's taking me straight to store. Okay. If you were going to be blogging, it probably would have taken you to blog, business, portfolio. But as you can see, you can literally just go back and just show all and see everything that it's got available. So in this case, I'm just going to browse through really quickly and see what will actually work for what I have tried to create. This one's got WooCommerce. This WooCommerce theme is included in the business plan. Okay. This WooCommerce theme, okay, that's what it is. Okay. But we're not going for the business plan, are we? We're trying to go for the free ones. So the ones that are like this, clearly they're not free. So always look to see if you're going for the free ones, it will literally say free at the bottom. It will say free at the bottom. So literally it's limited our options already, but that's fine because I actually kind of like this one, and I'm going to go with that style. Yeah, so much better. So unlock this style and tons of other features, but oh my gosh, that's annoying. Yeah. So the disadvantage, right, of going with the wordpress.com with the URL is you really are limited. But at the same time, even if you are limited, if you can be creative and make it work. And so let's try and make this work. Let's see if the other colors are the same thing. It only allows you the basic color, and everything else it wants you to upgrade. So we're going to go ahead and select this one. Okay. I'm hoping it's going to come out as nice as it looks, because some of them, it can be tricky where it shows you to say, oh, this is how it's going to look. And then once you get in there, literally you get mumble jumbled. But that's the beauty of trial and error, because sometimes you will find yourself needing to go through some trial and error. And then if you want to have an idea of what your website template is going to look like on other devices like a tablet or a mobile phone, you can literally, it gives you those options up there. So right now it's showing us it would look like on a computer. This is what it would look like on the tablet. Okay. And then this is what it would look like if you had a phone. So the menu literally goes and disappears, and then you can click on the menu there. Okay. So this gives you an idea like, okay, this is responsive. Okay. It's a responsive website, which means it will adjust, you know, regardless of whether you're looking at it on a computer or on a tablet or on a mobile phone. Sorry, just move this because it's literally, I feel like I can't hear. There you go. That's slightly better because that was feeling weird. Let me do the same this side as well. This is the slight disadvantage of doing lives like this, where I'm trying to make sure that I avoid feedback, is having to wear these. Okay, so now that we have selected, you can literally, obviously we got no choice but to only choose the free version, right? And so you have to go ahead and click on continue. Okay. Maki. Hello, Maki. Hello, welcome to the live stream. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Okay, so once you've clicked on continue, it literally automatically takes you to the dashboard. Now, I know for many of you, this is going to be very daunting because you're like, oh my gosh, what is all of this? Right? It seems like a lot, but I promise you, once you get used to it, it's actually not bad, because all these little bits and pieces that you're looking at right now are actually very useful for you to be able to run your website. So we're going to just go through them really, really quickly so that you can have an idea. And also the beauty about WordPress, when you are new to WordPress, or if you've just created your website, it actually also tells you what it gives you recommendations on the dashboard on what you can try and do. So here, it's giving you the option, update your site's design. We've created the basics. Now it's time for you to update the images and text. Make a great first impression. Everything you do can be changed anytime. So this takes you to be able to edit the site. And by edit the site, there's a chance that it's going to take me to customizations, but I want us to touch on that just in a little bit. And then here on a domain, build a site. So here, it's basically double checking, for example, because you're still using the free version, do you actually have your own domain name? So it gives you the option to search for it and get that particular domain name. Then it actually walks you through the steps on being able to connect the domain name. And then obviously here, how to set up an online store. So it actually offers additional tutorials. So you will never really feel like you are lost once you start using WordPress. And it's kind of good like that. So with that said, we are just going to we're going to look through this. So obviously here, it's got stats. So once your website obviously is functioning and things like that, and you're getting viewers coming, or people are actually, you're getting that traction, you can actually go to stats and you'll be able to see the visitors that you have, how many views, how many likes even, because remember what I said in the beginning, where I basically, hi, Pretty Brown Eyes, welcome to the live stream. Hello, welcome. I remember what I mentioned in the beginning. I did mention that basically when it comes to WordPress, when you first create it, it basically gives you the option. Hang on, what was I looking for? I think I've lost my train of thought because I went away and looked at the comments on this site. Oh my gosh, I think it's Friday. I'm exhausted, you guys, but I'm going to do my best because I did promise you guys that we're going to go through creating a WordPress website. Yeah, so you can look at your stats, and if remember, I mentioned that you might have accidentally, that's it, I've got my thought back. You might have accidentally registered with WordPress because maybe you went on a website and you wanted to leave your comment, but in order to leave your comment, it asks you to register, right? And there's a high chance that it might have been WordPress. Even if you might have not realized that you registered with WordPress, there's a chance that it asks you to register to WordPress via your Google or Gmail account or your Apple account, hence already being registered with WordPress. And so basically, people who come and they give comments, etc., you'll be able to see their comments over here. You'll be able to see their likes. So if you're registered on somebody's website, you can actually go and actually give them a like on their website, and then it will be able to see the views that you have, the visitors, etc. And then once your website is going, it will also have other data for you, like, you know, how many views you've had per day, per week, months, even years, you know. And then it even goes further and gives you a demographic where, like, from country, locations within those countries, the types of devices they were using, etc., that sort of thing. And so when we talk about GDPR and things like that, and cookies, whenever you have to accept the cookies, this is the type of information that's actually being collected, because it does help owners of websites. And literally, when I talk about website, I'm talking about YouTube, because I think a lot of people look at YouTube, Facebook, and things like that, because they are available as apps as well, and they're very social media. People don't really consider them to be websites, but people actually do forget they are websites too. So they work in the exact same fashion. Okay, and so obviously you've got the upgrade section. This is when you are ready to go ahead and upgrade your website. You can go and upgrade it by adding your own domain, and then if you want to add emails, etc., that sort of thing. And that's if you have chosen to use WordPress as your hosting provider, then you can go ahead and upgrade to the hosting packages that they have available to you. And then you've got a section here that says post. Post is basically once you have created your website, if you are planning on posting news updates or blogging on your website, this is the section that you have to actually go ahead and create those particular posts, where you can add a new post, and then it gives you, you know, the inside of it. But we're going to touch on that in a moment. So at this point, we're just going through the menu on the side. And so all these that have appeared after I've clicked post are all part of the post, you know, adding a new post, categories, tags, and then you've got media. Media is basically any images and things like that that you're going to be using on your website. That includes all the way to the logo for your website. You can use the media to actually go ahead and upload your media. And then pages is literally the pages that you create for your website. So you can, the most basic of pages is the home page, the about page, because you want people to know what you're about. And then homepage, about page, contact us page, a shop if you're selling items, and then a services page if you're offering a services page. And then everything else obviously is down to the type of products that you are selling, whatever it is that you have to offer. I'm actually going to go to other websites as well that I have created, my own ones that is, so that I can give you an idea of some of the most basic of pages that you'll find are quite generic on almost every single website. You can never miss a home page, an about us page, and a contact page. They're always there in some way, shape, or form. So even if they don't provide you with an email address, they will likely provide you with a form to fill in and get in touch that way. So you find that they'll always find a way around that. And so those are for the pages. And the comments, yes, there's a section for your comments. This is when people are commenting and things like that. You can actually easily come back on your in your dashboard and respond to comments. You can delete comments if you feel they belong in as spam. You can send them over to spam. But WordPress is quite smart in the sense that a lot of the spam, it will sometimes automatically send it to spam. But if it hasn't sent it to spam, you can be able to just literally click it as spam and it will go in the spam folder. Anything you've deleted will obviously go in the trash. Pending is basically if you've made any posts where you want people to, if they do respond or they make comments, you want to review them first before they can be approved. They'll go to pending, and once you've approved them, they're going to appear over here. Feedback is basically any feedback that you receive from people who've been using your website. So for instance, if people have loved whatever service you offer, regardless of what it is, you will find that they will give you a comment or they will give you a feedback, because you can create two forms, right? A contact us one as well as a feedback one. And so the feedback one allows you to put quotes. You know what I mean? If you've ever seen something where people have got quotes from customers, etc., that sort of thing, that's what the feedback literally is all about. You can see here it's even got the option for form responses. And then you've got Jetpack. Jetpack is, you see, just clicking Jetpack is literally taking me to Jetpack. Jetpack is basically what you utilize in order to synchronize your socials. It's really good for your socials. And Jetpack is also what a lot of WordPress uses in order to integrate the website hosting, video hosting, and things like that. So Jetpack is quite instrumental in helping WordPress function. And if I'm not mistaken, maybe it's because I'm used to using Jetpack, but it's almost as though WordPress does not function really well with that Jetpack. They literally come hand in hand. Thank you very much. Herb, is it Herb Ngalamulume? Thank you very much. Thank you. I'm trying. And so with Jetpack, it actually allows you to back up your information. It also allows you to add extra security to your website and the information for you to safeguard it a lot more from attackers, from people who might hack into your website and take over your website and even steal your customers' information and your information, etc. Jetpack has all those features. Obviously, in order to get all those detailed features, you would have to pay extra for them. But for the most part, it does offer a lot of free services. And so that's Jetpack. And then WooCommerce. Remember, I mentioned WooCommerce earlier on. WooCommerce is basically what's instrumental with WordPress in order for you to actually sell items. WooCommerce is the one that basically integrates a shop into your website. Without WooCommerce, the likelihood of you having a really nice looking store on your website, if you're using WordPress, is, I think, almost very slim to none. I think there are other workarounds aside from WooCommerce, but WooCommerce is the most trusted one. Through WooCommerce, just put it simply, through WooCommerce and WordPress, you can actually create a store. Once you created a store, as long as your Instagram account, right, um, is either a creator or a business Instagram account, and then on Facebook, so long as you've got a Facebook page that is connected to that particular Instagram account, you will be able to synchronize your shop from your website onto Instagram as well as Facebook. And the beauty about that is people will be able to go to Instagram, and if they find your shop from there, maybe they might not know anything about your website, but they will literally go to Facebook, and when they click on it, it will actually redirect them to your website. So that, for me, I find to be one of a really great way to get traction onto your website, especially if you've monetized your website with Google AdSense and things like that. You'll find that if you're getting traction on your website, you are likely to be able to create that passive income on your website without actually even being there yourself. People will be coming from social media and going to your website, and then your website is monetized with Google Ads. You'll be able to actually generate an income slowly but surely. Now, then the next part is appearance. Appearance is basically, as you can see, it says themes, editor, and customize. Customize is what you customize the theme to be able to make it look like how you would like it to look. Themes is the actual WordPress theme, like the one we selected. That's the theme. You can go ahead, when you click on theme, it will give you the option to be able to also try to choose other themes if you want to. And then customization is basically when you're actually customizing that particular theme that you have installed onto your WordPress website. And then there's plugins. Now, here's the thing. It's been a while since I have taken a peek into the WordPress.com side of WordPress, because I always just go directly to my websites, which are self-hosted. And a while ago, you could not have plugins, to put it simply, on a WordPress.com website. You could not have plugins. It was forbidden. It was just not permitted at all. But now I can see it's offering plugins. So I'm just going to take a quick peek and see if it's offering you plugins. But in order to actually have them, it's going to tell you that you have to pay extra. Let me have a quick look. Yep, you need to upgrade to a business plan to install plugins. I thought so. I was going to be surprised that it was actually going to enable that. And that's why I'm surprised it's enabling WooCommerce, because for the most part, WooCommerce is a plugin, unless because they work together, it will automatically offer you a WooCommerce one without it being a plugin, so to speak. I feel like that's the workaround they made in order to keep their customers. I'm sure their thinking was, if we can be able to offer our customers Jetpack and WooCommerce, but as standalones instead of a plugin, because we do not allow plugins on the WordPress.com, it will allow for people to want to stay as customers with WordPress if they decide to upgrade, and then they can be able to get WooCommerce and Jetpack as plugins on their own custom domain. Because with the custom domain, WooCommerce and Jetpack are both plugins. They don't come standalone like this, where they're not in the plugin section, just put it this way. Users is basically the users that you've actually added to the website or who have registered with your website, and then it will literally tell you who is what. So for instance, here the Global Zambian obviously is Team 1, because that's the account that we've registered this particular website with, is the Global Zambian. You can add a team member. So if you want to add somebody else to come and help you, Brown Eyes has got a question. Does the Facebook have to be a business account? Facebook, basically, you have to have a page. So your own personal Facebook profile can just be normal, but you have to create a Facebook page. So it will be almost as though you're going to have your profile, but you're going to have a page which you can easily switch back and forth. So I'm going to go through that, because the idea here is I am showing you all the way from the beginning to end. I'm going to try and be as detailed as I possibly can, so that you can be able to see how to go about being able to, within your Facebook profile, create your page if you already don't have one, And Facebook now has made it very, very easy for people to be able to create a page. You can literally create a page even from your mobile phone without having to get on a PC. And it's very, very easy and simple. And once you have created your page and you've got your Instagram account of the same name, or at least, that you want to use for your business, then you can just make sure that your Instagram account does not just say personal Instagram account. It has to say creator or business Instagram account. I'm going to try and see if I can try and join using my mobile phone and then share my mobile phone screen, right? So that you can see how you can go about creating your page using your mobile phone. If for those people who want to learn, I'm going to attempt that. In hopes I don't cancel this whole stream in the process. I might attempt that. But for the most part, I will show you how to do it, obviously, over the browser. I hope that kind of answers your question, Pretty Brown Eyes. And so the users is basically all the users. You can add new users. Anyone that's come and subscribed to your website, they will actually appear as a subscriber. Anyone that you've added as a team member, they will appear as a team member. And then tools here at the bottom, as you can see, it's got marketing, earn, import. Now, the marketing is basically, you can see, add Facebook for WordPress. You want to connect with your audience on Facebook and Instagram, it actually allows you to do that. And guess what? I don't know if I mentioned this on a previous live, but I was so happy because Elon freaking Musk, okay? Elon Musk, who's literally decided to make his, I don't know what is this? This X that he's done to Twitter, he actually removed Twitter integration with WordPress. So here's the thing. One of the beauties about WordPress is the people who created WordPress have made it so that it's so easy for you to be able to automatically share your content from your website to all social media platforms. And so basically, when you created a post, you could connect all your social media accounts, except for Instagram at the time. Okay, you could connect Twitter, your Facebook page or profile, Twitter, Facebook. I always forget this. There's another one. It's almost like a bloggy picture. Tumblr. That's it. I always forget Tumblr. I don't know why the name always escapes my head. Yeah, Twitter, Facebook, Tumblr, as well as LinkedIn. Yep. For those who use LinkedIn, LinkedIn is included as well. And it basically gave you the option to, once you've posted, it's automatically posted on all those platforms at the same time, which I thought was great because it was a great time saver. Because before that was even possible, a lot of people had to rely on companies like Hootsuite. I don't know if you remember Hootsuite. TikTok, I don't think they've added TikTok just as yet to automatically post on TikTok. However, using plugins, if you've got your own domain name, you can be able to actually add TikTok, just embed your TikTok into your website. But because it has added Jetpack and WooCommerce automatically to the free version, I'm assuming that when we go to the customization section, I think it's going to be able to allow you to actually still embed TikTok without needing to have to add plugins. So they've been quite good like that, I think. So for those who are wondering why I'm saying TikTok, if they're watching Facebook, Pretty Brown Eyes asked, what about TikTok as well? And so there, Facebook, want to build a great brand, start with a great logo. So this is basically a company, I'm assuming, that helps you create a logo. It's my first time actually seeing this one. A custom logo helps you brand pop, So it's giving you that option. It's giving you the option to monetize the website, simple texting, get social, and share your blog post where the people are. So obviously they're going to have to remove that Twitter because it's no longer possible. We've just got Tumblr, Facebook, LinkedIn, and what I was leaving out, they've now integrated Instagram. And so when you post from your website, it can actually automatically post on Instagram. Everybody knows how difficult it is to auto post on Instagram, okay? But fun fact, if you've got a Facebook page and you've connected your Facebook page to your Instagram account, you can actually even schedule your Instagram posts. okay, which I think is amazing, because I really did hate the fact that every time I needed to post on Instagram, I had to physically post it then. But if you've got a very busy schedule, you have the opportunity to actually be able to say, okay, I've got this to do, but I need to make 3 posts today, for instance, right? You literally all you have to do is go in your Facebook page, and I'm going to show you that as well. Go to your Facebook page, and then through your Facebook, you can schedule your Facebook post as well as your Instagram post all at the same time. And then if it's 12 p.m., you're scheduling them for, and then maybe another one for 4 p.m., and maybe later on around 8 p.m., you're scheduling another one. You can literally schedule all of those, and they will automatically post on those times. And I think that's one of the most amazing things. So the fact that WordPress have now integrated auto post into Instagram, it means, because WordPress also allows you to schedule posts. So again, if you've got a bunch of things that you have been, compiling to post, you can actually schedule them at intervals. That way you are not bombarding your readers or whoever, your followers, with too many posts at the same time. People don't have time for that. But if you basically spread them out, then it gives people ample time to kind of do something else, read it. Oh, she's posted something else. Okay, well, he's posted something else. Let's have a look at what it is that he has. And then they'll go ahead and they'll go and actually, read your content. That's one way of maintaining. When you over bombard people with too much stuff, they actually get sick of it, So WordPress does allow you to schedule your posts. And then obviously, because they auto post to Facebook, they auto post to Instagram, they auto post to LinkedIn, they auto post to Tumblr, then you basically will be able to just have your posts automatically post whatever time it is you've scheduled them for. Especially if you're flying and you're traveling and you don't have time to be able to do that, it's literally perfect for that sort of thing. And so that's what the tools of marketing: earn, import, export. Export is basically if you've been using your website for a long time and you want to export it so that you can import it somewhere else, or if you're moving away from WordPress, you want to, import it to another platform that uses PHP. Bear in mind, it has to be a platform that uses PHP because that's the code that WordPress uses. Then you'll be able to export your website. Or if you just want to go and import it into your own custom URL, you can be able to use the import export option. And because if you're moving from WordPress to WordPress.org, which is the one with the custom domain URL, all you have to do is export, and then when you go there, it will ask you if you've got a WordPress.com that you want to import. Then the option is there for you to actually be able to import your website, and that way you don't have too much to do design wise. You just have to add whatever extra that was not available to you on the free version of the website. And so that's almost the menu. The last one actually at the bottom is settings. There you go. Settings basically has got general, writing, reading, discussion, media performance, hosting configuration. Now, the settings one is actually very important because it allows you to put your site icon. Once I change this site icon, can you see right there? It's saying WordPress. It's got the WordPress. Now, the Sims Realtor, I actually have not created a logo for it, but I'm gonna go ahead. Now, this is where, when you're creating your website, make sure if you've got a designer to help you, get them to help you design, obviously, a logo for you, really, really quickly that you can be able to utilize on your website. And so in this case, the thing I have in mind is The Sims, and then it's for real estate, right? Because it's the reason why I call it The Sims Realtor is to promote just basically houses that are being built in The Sims. Yes, leave me alone. Don't laugh at me. I love The Sims. So I'm actually going to go and I'm going to look for a house, and I'm going to do PNG. Okay. And I'm just going to go to images on Google. PNG is basically, files that come with transparency on them. And then I'm just going to look for, there we go. Okay, this one has no transparency behind it. I'm trying to find one that actually has transparency that I can be able to use as a logo. Although I do like that blue one, to be honest. So to make life easier and to make this shorter, I'm not going to download it. I'm just going to copy it actually. And then I'm going to go ahead and edit and paste. Okay. Obviously, I'm going to give you guys a tutorial maybe at a later stage on how to step by step on how to use Photopea for those who do not have Photoshop, and how to do stuff like what I've just done. But because the main aim is about creating the website, I don't want to spend too much time on the Photoshop side of things, hence me rushing through it. So I'm going to use the magic eraser, and I'm just going to remove the background. Background has been removed. And then I'm going to add text. Okay, all caps. The Sims Realtor. Highlight that real quick. Make it a little bit bigger. Bold. There we go. Then accept that. Bring that over. Let's see. Okay, so I'm actually going to make this a little bit more fashionable. I'm just going to get rid of that. Oh no, TSR already exists because the Sims resource uses TSR. So I'm just going to name it TS Realtor. And then I'm going to just expand it. Use that. Now to make it slightly different from the original, I'm just going to use blending options. And then I am going to add a stroke around it. There we go. What's the thickness? That was completely different from the original. I'm going to change that color to orange because they complement each other. Should I make it yellow? Now I'll make it orange because I'm a stickler. TS Realtor. As a matter of fact, I'm actually going to do this. Get rid of that. Bring that one there. Stretch that one out. Bring it right bang in the middle. And then I'm going to duplicate this layer. I'm going to bring that one up. Come on up. Okay, I'm going to bring that, and voila. And then I am just going to stretch that out real big. Okay, that's the center. Okay, so let's make that smaller. I'm probably going to sit down and work on the logo at some other time, but this is just for the sake of this tutorial. I'm just going to go ahead and going to export it as a PNG. The same Realtor logo. Have I even got a separate, I don't even know if I have a separate like folder for this, to be honest. Come on, gaming. Yeah, I don't. So I'm going to create one because I don't like being disorganized. Okay. I'm going to save that one there in artwork. And it's important, like when you're creating your website, you will need to create a bunch of folders within your desktop, wherever it is where you keep all your files, because you'll be needing a number of things. You're going to be needing your logo, okay, which you'll be able to use around your website. You're going to be needing images. So you're literally going to have to create a folder that maybe says website, and then within that you have maybe one that says WordPress, where you keep all your WordPress stuff, like the templates and the plugins. And then another one that says images, where you keep any images that you've taken, that you've maintained, that you're going to be using for your shop, for your promotion, for your banners, etc., that sort of thing, as well as your logo. So within your images, I would recommend you create yet another subfolder that says logos. That's where any sizes and forms and versions of your logos, you keep them in there. And then you can have to have one that says documents. And this is if you maybe download a plugin or things like that that require you to maintain a license, you can keep all your licensing there. And then you can be able to write your about us section in there where you keep the document. That way it gives you an opportunity to spell check and make sure that you've got all your wording right for your About Us section. And then if you are writing descriptions, maybe for your products, etc., you can maintain templates for those and keep them in your documents folder. So just stay as organized as possible, because it helps you maneuver whenever you're dealing with a website. So in this case, I've gone ahead and I have created that logo. I'm just going to close that and close Photopea because I really don't need it right now. Then we're going to go back to general. And then here it says change. So I'm going to click on change, and it's asking me either to upload media or browse free images. The browsing free images, basically, WordPress actually works with a number of websites. Pexels is actually one of them, which is amazing. And Pexels is literally one of my most favorite stock images website. And that's another positive about WordPress, is that you can import stock images and not worry about having to go and search for them elsewhere on a different tab. You literally can find them within WordPress without having to go anywhere else. So I'm just going to show you how that works. So it says browse free images. And so what am I looking for? A house, just for instance, right? There you go. A bunch of houses have popped up, and I can select whichever one I want. But obviously, we're not literally, as you can see, photos provided by Pexels, because that is the company that's actually utilizing. So if you want to use photos for references for the website that you are creating, Pexels, or this method, is the perfect way to use stock images as a reference point to what product you are selling, especially if you are selling a service. In most cases than not, when you are selling a service, you don't always have photographic evidence. The only thing you can utilize is an image that depicts the type of service that you are offering, right? For example, if you're offering branding and marketing and things like that, those are not always in physical format, as though you are selling fragrances and t-shirts, etc., that sort of thing. You can't just get a stock image for your fragrance. You can't just get a stock image for your t-shirts or your merchandise. You can't get stock images for that, because that will not be depicting what you're actually selling. If anything, that would be quite dangerous. Whereas if you're selling something that's not tangible, so to speak, then stock images, that's where they come in. If you are blogging about things and blogging about stories, or you're talking about a particular subject, using stock images is very, very handy. And in that, this method that it offers you is absolutely perfect for that. So I'm going to click on cancel, and then I'm going to click on change once again. And then I am actually going to click on add new. There you go. Add new allows me to literally, it goes straight to my folders. Now, what I am looking for is the one that I literally just downloaded, created, and then downloaded from Pexels. And I'm going to go to gaming. I am going to go to the Sims Realtor. There we go. Artwork. And there it is. And I'm just going to go ahead and add it. And then I'm going to click on continue. And there it is. And the good thing is it also allows you to actually crop the image if you find that maybe it's got too much space around it, as mine did. So I'm actually going to crop it. And also, if you find that maybe your image is too, it's too long that way, vertically is too wide, horizontally, this gives you the option to be able to put it in a proper square, because that is actually what is required for your logo. It can't be any other shape. In terms of the frame of it, has to be a square. So your logo in itself can be, thin, or can be wide, but it still has to fit in within the square in order for it to be visible as a basically an icon for your website. So we're going to click on done. Once that's done, when we are ready with the website and we view it, you actually will be able to see this as an icon, if I'm not mistaken. But also, this helps you identify your website. If you've got a bunch of other websites, you can just recognize it from the logo before you even see the name initially. So here, the Sims Realtor, I've called it Sulsul Property, which is fine. Again, here it says make an incredible logo in minutes. It was offering Fiverr. I do know Fiverr. I don't know. I think I've just never paid attention to the Fiverr logo. And so Fiverr is basically where you pay someone £5, literally £5, and they can create a logo for you. This is not to guarantee that your logo will actually cost you £5, but it starts from £5, because there's always people bidding for people to create their their logos and other artwork, other basic creative things. And Fiverr basically is the website that some people do rely on for that. As you can see, it's got the site address and it's asking you if you want to add a custom address, but we are not adding a custom address because that's not where we're at right now. And then the time zone, it will ask you for a time zone, even the language. So depending on what language you speak, whether it's United States English, UK English, that sort of thing, you've got the option to change that. And then the time zone obviously will be where you are. My time zone that I've put is London because all around England, it uses technically GMT +1 right now. And then launch site. So once you're ready, it asks you to actually launch the site. But I'm going to go further. I'm going to keep scrolling where it says footer credit. You can customize your website by changing the footer credit in Customizer. Now, here's the thing. Footer credit, like I said, is almost mandatory that it will always leave footer credit for the person who created the template because you are using the free version of WordPress. It's very rare to find that a template allows you to add your own custom footer credit when you're using the free version, but otherwise a lot of them will force you to actually have the custom credit that says created by WordPress. So you say remove the footer credit entirely with WordPress.com business, but this you have to pay extra for that. So here it says change footer credit, and then we're going to go that in customization because you can do literally all of that in customizations. And then it's got the option for site tools, which is to change your site address, transfer your site, delete your content, delete your site permanently. This is if you're kind of sick of it and you're like, yeah, I'm done with all of this. And then that's in the general section of the settings, okay? The writing section of the settings, when you click on writing, you will find that it's about literally writing. The standard format is always, the default post format is standard. Literally, as you can see, it doesn't even allow you to change anything else. And then write posts or pages in plain text, markdown syntax. Leave this as it is. Don't change it to write posts or pages in plain text markdown, which means it will not have, you won't be able to format it where it looks more creative design wise. And then date and time format, you can actually change that. You can see there's the drop down arrow. I just clicked on that and it allows you to change the format and how you want the time to appear on your website. And then content type, blog posts. So how many blog posts, especially if you blog quite a lot, how many blog posts would you like to be shown per page? This one has got 10. Personally and professionally, I wouldn't recommend showing 10 blog posts per page when someone goes to view your latest blogs. I would minimize that to half the size. So I'm going to highlight that and click on 5. And then testimonials. If you remember, the feedback is basically part of your testimonials, because I was trying to think of the word, but it wasn't coming to me. But the feedback is part of your testimonials. And again, you can choose to actually have that visible or not, depending on what it is that you do. So if you do get a lot of feedback, quite a lot, I would recommend you checkmark that. That way your testimonials actually appear. And as you notice, as I clicked it, it literally says settings saved successfully. So you don't even have to click on save settings because it does it for you. But if you're not certain, you can always click on save settings. So I'm going to turn off testimonials because that's not what we're after right now. So what happens is once you've selected testimonials, WordPress actually creates for you a testimonials page where all your testimonials can actually be viewed, which is a good thing. Or you can be able to customize it so they appear elsewhere as well. Okay, as you can see here, it says add, organize, and display testimonials. If your theme doesn't support testimonials yet, you can display them using the shortcode testimonials. So you can literally create a page and copy literally this. This is what they call a shortcode. Shortcodes always have like the brackets, the square little brackets around them. Those are shortcodes that allow for certain things to appear within certain pages, and it's used for things like Instagram, Facebook, etc., that sort of thing, when it comes to WordPress websites. And then obviously portfolio. This is if you're a photographer, you've got pictures. If you're a painter, an artist, you know, you've got images that you want to display. If you've done work for other people, you offer a service and you've got actual evidence, you know, picture evidence of the work that you've done. Portfolio is definitely one that you can be able to utilize in order to show people the work that you have actually done in the past. Okay, so I'm going to quickly switch off testimonials. And then feed settings. Feed settings is basically display 10 most recent blog posts. The number of posts to include in your site's feed. Now, when we're talking about the site's feed, we are literally talking about it's similar to the latest news section of your website. So again, I would limit this one to 5 because 10 is a little bit too much and it ends up stretching all the way down the website, and you do not want that. Podcasting, because it's such a big thing now, it's very easy for anyone to literally start their own podcast, publish a podcast feed to Apple Podcasts and other podcasting services. This allows you to basically set it up. But I feel like this one is going to take us to a whole other rabbit hole. And so it's something that anyone who's interested in doing podcasts, we will be able to have an in-depth tutorial about this on its own. And then infinite scroll. Now, infinite scroll is basically where when someone goes to your website and they're trying to look at all the blog posts you've made, and especially you've got hundreds and hundreds of blog posts, infinite scroll allows for people to just keep scrolling down to find more and more and more. Would I recommend it? No, I always turn off infinite scroll because I would rather someone just went to the next page. But then again, it depends on your demographic. It depends on the type of audience that you have. Some of them, they do prefer to have infinite scroll because they don't like having to go from page to page to page. I would rather people went from page to page to page simply because I want them to be able to browse around the rest of the website. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to switch off infinite scroll. And then this is press it. Press it, basically press this allows you to copy text, images, videos from any web page and add them to a new post on your site along with an automatic citation. How to use press this: drag and drop the press this button below to your bookmarks bar. So you can take this and put it on your bookmarks bar, which is up here. Okay. And then or right click the button to copy the link, then add the link to your favorites. Highlight the text or item you'd like to copy into a new post, click on the press it, and then it will literally add it to the post. So this is if, for example, you're doing a review about something else that was said on another website. You literally can go to the website, highlight it as they've said, and then after you've highlighted it, because press it will be in your bookmarks, you literally just click on that and then it will add it to your post, which I think is really, really cool. But if truth be told, I've never used it because I've never felt the need to use it. So this is completely subjective on who would rather they use this or they just went and copied and pasted. The good thing is when you do use this, it will automatically offer citation to the other side. It automatic, and you don't have to worry about trying to type in who you're crediting, etc., that sort of thing. So it's kind of good like that. Now we're going to go to the next one in the list under settings, which is reading. Reading is basically how people view your website and what you want them to be able to follow. So homepage displays is the homepage. Now, some people would rather it's actually their latest posts that display on their homepage, simply because if they're a blogger, if they're a news website, they would like to have their homepage display their latest news and posts, etc., that sort of thing, and it will appear on there. Or if you've added additional pages, for instance, right now we only have the home page because that's the only one we have created, right? If I created something else that I want to be displayed as the home page, then it will be available. That particular page will be available on this drop down menu and I will be able to add it. And then default post page, this is basically a post page that you actually have to create. Once you've created the post page, it will be the page where every time you put a new blog post, etc., they will automatically go to that particular page that you have assigned. And so whether you've decided to name it latest news or blog, that will be the page that you select on there. And then all your posts that you make as blog posts or news posts will automatically go on that particular page. Hence the importance of having the infinite scroll either on or off. In my case, I switch it off. That way people can just go to page 2 of the posts. As you can see, blog post 5, blog pages 5, show at most 5 posts, nothing more. And then related posts, yeah, I always check mark related post because it's always good. Maybe when someone finishes reading something, it gives them a recommendation. Hey, maybe you might be interested in this because it's of a similar subject matter, which is a good thing because it allows people to actually stay on your website, right? And the longer people stay on your website, the more likely they are to either purchase something or at least help you with the Google AdSense that you have implemented on your website. That's if you are using Google AdSense. And so here it says show related content after posts, and then highlight related content with the heading, show a thumbnail image where available, show post publish date, show post category or tags. In our case, we're just going to highlight related content with the heading, and it shows you a preview down here, and then we're going to show the thumbnail as well. So there's going to be a heading and a thumbnail. If you do not want the heading, you can literally do that, and then the heading will go away. Okay, the heading is basically where it says related, and then, you know, it shows you what they are. So I tend to leave it like that, and basically whenever you've posted, at the bottom of your post, it will show these recommendations. Now, bear in mind, if you're using a template, some templates already have their own version of related posts. So if it comes with that and you want to use the one that comes with a theme, always remember to come back to your settings and actually close, basically turn off that option, because then you're going to have, if you don't turn it off, you will have two sections at the bottom of your post that are both saying the same thing. Really, oh, you know, check out related posts, check out related posts twice, and that can be quite detrimental to your website because it makes you seem like you don't know what you're doing, basically. Okay, now the next section is newsletter settings. Newsletter sections is basically where people, if they have subscribed to your blog, which is free, by the way, they subscribe to your blog, where they can give you a star, a like, which I mentioned earlier, and they can be able to leave comments if you've restricted it to subscribers only. The newsletter is what you can actually be able to send them through WordPress, and it will go to their email. So anyone that's registered to your website, it will automatically go to their emails. The beauty of this is you don't even have to know how to use a newsletter, because it's all there available for you. So all you have to do is say whatever it is you want to say. You recently subscribed to whatever your blog is. Here is the latest news of what's going on, etc., that sort of thing. So that's a confirmation email. Comment, follow, email, message. So basically, if someone has decided that they want to receive notifications every time someone else has commented on a post that they have commented on, etc., it says, hey, you know, obviously you recently followed one of my posts. This means you will receive an email when new comments are posted. To activate, click confirm, that. So this is once they've activated it. These are confirmations, but otherwise, literally, this is how the newsletter formatting also works when you're trying to email everybody at the same time. And then here it says enable featured image on your new post emails. Yes, because that way they'll be like, okay, so this is what it looks like, etc. The featured image that it's referencing is basically whenever you create a blog post, you have to have a featured image. If you've ever seen someone post a link and you can see an image tied to that particular link, that technically is the featured image, as that's the image that basically can be inviting to people, to show people or to provide people with some kind of a visual aid as to what it is that the blog post is about. Okay, and so the next section is for the excerpt. And so we've enabled featured image on your new post, and then also for each new post. For each new post email, include either full text or excerpt. I always choose an excerpt, because the last thing you want is the entire article, whatever it is you've written, to be in the email. Because once they've read it in the email and it's entirely there, they will not basically take the time to actually go to their website to read the rest of the thing. So an excerpt where they see a preview of it, and then they will basically be compelled to actually click on it to go and read the rest on your website. And then show post views in Reader. The post views, post views in post views. Oh yes, this one is basically the one where when you've activated it, it will tell you how many people have actually seen your post. Okay, so if you are new and you feel a bit shy and you feel like no one is, you know, you're getting one person here and there, switch it off. You know, especially if it's going to affect your confidence in your website and you doing your work, switch it off, because it's not that big of a deal. But with time, if you're getting traction and more people are coming, this is actually good to have on, because people are like, oh wow, 1,000 people have been reading this article, you know, within an hour, 1,000 people, or, you know, how many people are reading? Oh, that's amazing. And that actually causes people to actually keep coming back and telling other people about it, because they think, oh, this must be really popular, because a lot of people are actually reading their content, excuse me. And the next part is the RSS feed. The RSS feed is the one basically that With RSS feed, I'll be honest, I've gone back and forth and back and forth, and it's neither been here nor there in regards to the RSS feed, because I used to use a Google service called Feed Burner in order to make sure that I have an RSS feed for my website, even if, like I said, I've never really utilized it. An RSS feed is another way that people can subscribe to your website and receive updates every time you upload new content. So, for example, the way this has been done, every time, once they have basically confirmed their email address and everything, every time you post, you make a new post, it's going to notify those people in their email addresses to tell them that so and so, or in my case is, the Sims Realtor has posted a new blog post. Please go check it out, that sort of thing. So it is a good way to kind of like let all your customers know what you're up to without having to individually keep emailing everybody. It automatically emails anyone that's actually subscribed to your website. Let me see, the section of each post in a feed include an excerpt. Again, whenever your posts are appearing in a feed, make sure it's just an excerpt. Don't have the full thing, because the idea is you want people to come back to the website. So I'm going to go ahead and click off the settings, because you notice it never automatically saved. So just to be on the safe side, I've decided to click on save settings. The next section is discussion. Okay, it's telling me I've got unsaved changes. So let me have a look. Comment. Oh, it went ahead and changed it anyways. That was weird. Okay, so it's gone and changed it and gone to discussion. Even it was telling me that I've got unsaved changes, which is weird because I clicked save settings. But in discussion is literally self-explanatory. You're literally for your discussions. Okay, it's literally for your discussions. And in this particular instance, when people are communicating via the comment section, etc., that sort of thing, this is what the discussions is for. So default article settings, attempts to notify any blogs linked to from the article. So for instance, if somebody else uses your blog, right, or an excerpt from your blog, etc., it will attempt to notify you of any blogs linked from there. Allow link notifications from other blogs, pingbacks and trackbacks. Allow people to post comments on new articles, which is fine. Yes, you want that to happen because it's good for interactivity and people maintaining traction on your website. And then in the comments is comment author must fill out a name and email. So this is if you don't want any trolls, any bots and things like that. Yes, have them fill out a name and email. This is not to say that there's people who still try it and they still come and try to register with a fake email and a name, etc., that sort of thing. And then here it says users must be registered and logged in to comment. I always try to tick that one, because then they not only do they have to fill out their name and email, but they have to be logged in, which means they have to be confirmed that they're a real person in order to actually go ahead and comment. And this one automatically close comments on articles older than 14 days. Now, here's the thing. With this one, it's tricky because it depends on if you want people to come back a certain amount of times. I would say automatically close comments on articles older than either 180 days or 365 the whole year. After that, no one can comment to it. It remains closed. And then here it says enable threaded nested comments up to 3 levels deep. This is actually fine. Break comments into pages with 50 top level comments per page and the last page displayed by default. Now here it's up to you, again, depending on how much space you want taken on your website. People will be able to basically leave comments, and if it's a very popular article that you've written or a very popular blog, you might get tons and tons of comments. So I would limit the amount of comments that break. So I would say 25. That way, after the person's read those 25, then they can click to see more rather than being bombarded by a whole bunch of 50 comments, etc., in one line. It's a recipe for disaster in the sense that it might look messy on your website. Okay, and then here it says use markdown for comments. I actually always click that because I think, hey, why not? So this is basically in case someone comes on your website and they are making a mean comment or anything like that. The markdown option basically allows people to mark them down or up, give them a thumbs up and thumbs down, which is normal. It's like social media, basically. Email me whenever anyone posts a new comment. A comment is held for moderation. Someone likes one of my posts, someone reblogs one of my posts, someone follows my blog. Again, this is entirely up to you and what you choose you would like a notification for, especially if you don't like being harassed by loads and loads of emails. You can uncheck all of this if you like, and then just come to your website to see what activity has been going on. And then before a comment appears, comment must be manually approved. Comment author must have previously approved comment. With this one, again, it depends on how, I'll say, if you're getting lots of bots and stuff like that, yeah, the comment author must have a previously approved comment. That's what I would recommend. And then comment moderation, hold a comment in the queue if it contains 2 or more links. I actually reduce that to 1 because if it's got a link at all, it's likely to be spam. So you are better off asking WordPress to actually hold that comment until you see if it's actually a link and if it's worth you being able to actually go ahead and release it and post it to the public and on your website. So I always put it down to 1 because no one should be coming with a link in the comments in the first place, because in most cases they're not. That ends up just spamming and distracting the attention of other people who are trying to come and view your content. Okay, so that's the comment moderation. And then disallow comments with when a comment contains any of these words. So here is where you can add any profanity that people might use online, and then just disallow those words. So if you're looking to be a wholesome content creator or blogger, etc., and you want to maintain that, you can actually block those particular words from there, so that if someone tries to type it, they'll find that their comment will not be shown because they've gone and used language that's not permitted on your platform. The next part is media. What are the changes? It's going to take me to media anyways. Flipping egg. Media is basically, I tend to notify my blog linked from the article, allow link notification from other blogs, same as before. Did it move? It did move. Okay. So it's got similar stuff as the one before, as you can see. For some reason, it should say media. Okay. Let's save changes. Let's see. And then move to media, because it was showing that it's on media, but somehow the information, there we go. I was wondering that looked a bit weird for media. So media, basically, honestly, there's nothing for you to change. You can have a look and see what the stats it's accepting, like thumbnail size, 150 by 150, medium, 300 by 300, large size, 124 by 1024. Okay, that's the image sizes. Image gallery carousel is telling you what type it is. You can choose for it to the background to be black or to be white. Display images in full size carousel slideshow. And then show comments area in carousel. Display all your gallery pictures on a cool mosaic. So this is basically how you would like your pictures to display once you've got your website ready and set. And of course, if you're going to be showcasing quite a number of pictures. And then category as set as feed, set podcast category. So once you've got your categories ready, you can actually be able to save your select your podcast category there. And so, and by that I mean literally, if your podcast is, let's say, about faith, you select that category that we created about faith. If it's to do with cars, the category obviously will be vehicles and motorsports and stuff like that. That's what it means by that. So I'm going to go ahead and click on save. And then we're going to go to performance. Performance, I think I roughly mentioned that before. The performance is basically how your website is doing. But as you can see, it's asking you to upgrade for pretty much almost all of it, because it will not give you performance feedback unless you are paying them, which completely sucks, if truth be told. And then hosting configuration is basically if you decided to go for hosting, and if you decided to go for WordPress's hosting. As you can see, it says upgrade to the business plan to access all hosting features, which is SFTP. SFTP streamline your workflow and edit your files with precision using an SFTP, which is secure file transfer protocol. And then CLI access, use WP CLI to manage plugins and users or automate repetitive tasks from your terminal. SSH, take control of your website performance and security using SSH, which is basically whenever you see people have got like a little lock at the end of their website, it's normally basically the security certificate, and it's showing people that this site is secure and you can enter it without any potential issues of being hacked. Okay, and hence all website is so important for them to have like a certificate of some sort. I use SSL certificates. And then pick your data center. Choose a primary data center for your site. Data center. Now, remember in the beginning, I mentioned something along the lines of servers being had, hence where you're hosting. That's what that's what they are. They're data centers. They're literally, some places will have this massive, not even massive, massive data centers where they've just got all these servers that they keep cool, because that's a lot of machinery, and it does take up a lot of electricity, and it heats up. So they do tend to keep them in places where it's cool enough to maintain them. Hence, they're asking of the data center, because those that I've just described are data centers. And then database access, manage your website's data easily, PHPMyAdmin to inspect tables and run queries. Now, this is something that's available, honestly. Depending on the hosting provider, they'll all have this available to you, database access with PHPMyAdmin. And then live support, obviously, this all comes with the business plan, by the way. Live support is when you're facing any issues, you can easily get to reach someone who will actually be able to help you there and then. And so moving right along, I think that's the last of that section. So I thought it was important for me to go through the settings. That way, because the settings does affect how you display your website in certain parts, how you communicate with people who are actually following your website, etc. That sort of thing. That's why I felt it important to go through the settings. So let's go back to now finishing off the design of the website. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and click on home. In the home, it's asking me to edit the website. Remember, I said that before. So we're going to go ahead and we are going to click on edit site. Okay, so here it says put your site in your pocket and download the WordPress app. So you can actually download the WordPress app, which will allow you to actually post blogs directly from your phone without any issues. So now here, this is the design section for the website. As you can see, it's showing us how we found it, correct? And this is actually something new. I kind of like this. And so looking for template parts, find them in patterns. Okay, thank you. Okay, it says review one change. Let's have a look. Are you ready to save? The following changes have been made to your site. Pages, okay. I'm just going to go ahead and save it. And in this case, the navigation, when you click on the arrow, it basically takes you to the home. Because remember, the home page is already available, but we want to add more pages, correct? And so in this case, you're going to go ahead and click on the pencil. And when you click on the pencil, there you go. This, first of all, hang on. Nope, this one actually just allows you to edit the home page. Let me have a look and the link. There we are. I was wondering, I said, has it changed? I do like this new feature. So as I'm actually walking you guys through this, I'm actually discovering new features that WordPress have actually implemented, and I'm actually loving it. But also, this should give you an idea on how easy it is to adjust with WordPress. Because like I said, these are new features that I've never seen before. But as you can see, WordPress have still made it easy. So right now, I clicked on the plus as an attempt to add a new page, which it still is allowing me, because next to home, it's basically asking me to, with the plus sign, I clicked on the plus sign, it says add link, right? So it's asking me to search for URL, etc., that sort of thing. But what I want is the list of pages. Now, because we haven't created the additional pages, I'm actually going to go ahead and I'm going to click out of this. And is there an option to just cancel? So I'm just going to go backwards like this. There you go. As you can see, it went and created the custom link anyways. But what we want to do, we want to go to customization, because in customization, you'll be able to create new pages. And when you change it, yeah, you'll be able to create new pages and then be able to maybe come back to this design section and edit them. So let me go back. Yeah, we're just going to leave without changes. Okay. And so what we are actually looking for is customization. Okay, so where to find customization? The reason why I also went through the list is so you can understand what is where. And so in order to go to customization, you have to just hover. I'm not even clicking on it. Just hover on appearance and then click on customize. Then when you click on customize, oh my gosh, all this lighting, honestly, guys, it's really, really hot. Let me just ask, Alexa, what's the temperature right now?
Right now, it's 16 degrees Celsius.
Oh my gosh, it's 16 degrees, yet I'm feeling so hot. Okay, now that I've clicked on what's the word I'm looking for? Customization. That's it, customize. It's brought up this page, right? And this page, as you can see, it's got site identity, menus, homepage settings, colors, font, and additional CSS. Okay. Additional CSS is basically code that you can add in order to design, to add extra color schemes, themes, etc., that sort of thing for your website. However, this is for people who are beginners. So honestly, you don't have to worry about this particular section at the bottom. We're going to start from the very top, which is the site identity. The site identity is the Sims Realtor, which is the site title, and then whatever tagline that you have. And as you can see, it's showing the icon. If you remember, I changed it from the back end there, and it's showing what the icon is. But even further, look up here. See that? The icon has actually gone and shown up, the site icon. And so that's what I was talking about, making sure that it's square, because the site icon always has to be of a certain size. And that's what you are seeing at the top there. And then here it's asking you add a logo to display on your site. So we are going to go ahead and click on select. And it's asking me to drop a file. But remember, we already uploaded that other one, right? So we're going to click on library, and then I'm going to click on that. And that should allow me to select. Sorry, I'm so tired. I do apologize for yawning on this live. I'm exhausted. It's been a long week. And so after you've added your logo, as you can see what I'm doing right now, it's actually giving me the option to be able to resize it. And I'm able to resize the logo or crop it as they, referencing. So I'm cropping the logo, I'm cropping up bits that I don't need, and then select on crop image. Once you select on crop image, it goes ahead and it actually adds your logo. Now, what's wrong with this picture? What's wrong with this picture is that this logo is extremely large, okay, which it just doesn't go. And so ideally what you want is a logo that looks so much smaller. But how do you go about to do that if you don't know how to, but you've got the logo? So first things first, I would recommend that your logo be a PNG file with transparency. That way only the logo, the part where the logo is can be seen. Everything else should not be like a white background, so to speak, if you know what I mean. And then I would recommend that you go to the link I'm about to go to, which is Favicon Generator. So I'm going to click on the next tab, and I'm just going to click, I'm going to search for Favicon, Favicon. As you can see, it's already coming up. I'm just going to go ahead and type it as a Google search so that you can see. Favicon Generator, you can see it's highlighted because I've used it many, many times before. And so I'm going to go ahead and click on it, realfavicongenerator.net. That's the website that you need, realfavicongenerator.net. The Real Favicon Generator, basically, it asks you to select your favicon image. So I'm going to go ahead and select. Now, the reason why I'm recommending that you use this method is when you generate the different favicons for the different types of website styles, or should I say device styles, it actually gives you different sizes of your logo without you having to do too much work. So in this case, we're going to go ahead and we're going to select that. We're going to click on open, and it's going to generate it. And there we are. So it's literally showing this is how your favicon will look like on the website, on different browsers, even in dark mode and light mode, and that's fine. You can even add margins. It says add margins in the plain background, but we don't need that. I want it to use the original image as is, and I don't want to basically change anything about it. And then at the bottom here, it's got favicon for iOS web clip. So this is roughly how it looks. The background is showing that it's white, black, sorry, but we want to change it to white. So I'm gonna, see, it says here, use the original favicon as is. iOS will fill the transparent regions with black. We don't want that. So I'm going to go ahead and click on add a solid plain background to fill the transparent regions. I'm going to do that. And then the FFFFF, actually the hex code for FFFFFF is actually white. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, black is CCCCCCCCC if you want your background to be black. But then again, if you click on that one, it will be black anyways. So we're going for the white one because I feel like that goes better with the brand. And I think it's really cool. It actually shows you what happens if you were to highlight over or hover over the icon. It actually goes and uses the colors from the logo, which I think is pretty neat. What I tend to do in this particular situation, whenever I'm generating favicons for the website, is I click on settings, and then there's the next tab that says assets. I click on that one, and then I select create all icons for iOS 7 and later. Create all icons for iOS 6 and prior. This is to, this is to safeguard yourself so that whoever else might be viewing your website from whatever device, they will still be able to see the favicon or the site icon at the top of the website. So generate the corresponding pre-composed icon, that's fine. And then dedicated pictures, literally the picture that you've chosen. So we're not changing that. So go back to settings and you're good. Then you move on to the next one. Favicon for Android, Chrome. In this case, it's literally placed it the way Chrome normally does, with transparency showing, and it says my app. So this is where you literally have to come and actually put the name of your app. In this case, is the Sims up to the Sims TS Realtor. That way, that's what's going to show up over there. Theme color is basically whatever theme you want. Have you ever, when you are browsing through your phone, and basically you've opened a particular page in your browser for your phone, and you are trying to have a look at another website in the process, right? You will find that there's always like a color theme that particular icon has, and that's what it's basically referencing. And it will actually show you an example once I change it. So what we're looking for, add a solid plain background to fill the transparent region. So that, no, we don't need that, but we do want to apply a slight drop. Hang on, do you want that? No change. Let's leave that one as is, sorry. Theme color is what we're trying to change. So the theme it has is white, orange, and blue. Okay. And in this case, we want it to be that way. So basically, whenever you add a shortcut of your website to anyone's device, that's an Android, and they're trying to click on it, rather than it opening the browser itself, it will open as though it's opening its own app. And so we are looking for the blue. There we go. Now, if we can get the correct blue that matches, I think this is kind of close enough. This is just to give you an idea. Okay, so for home, this is what it looks like. Switcher, this is what it looks like whenever people are browsing. See, it says Chrome there, but it gives you the color of what the icon in the splash, this is what it looks like. And so once you're satisfied with that, click on the tab that says options. And then in this case, it's standalone. In this mode, Android Chrome gives a little more native style to the open page. Now, in this case, we are looking at WordPress.com, right? It's not our own custom URL. Now, in most cases, because that's what I'm used to having, I will actually put the custom URL, because the disadvantage of WordPress.com as an extension to your website, because you're using it as a subdomain, is that it will not allow you to add custom code to the back end of the website. With that said, you still can go ahead and add it. So in this case, ours is the simsrealtor.wordpress.com. Then we're going to go here and we're going to add it over here. And then the next one is Windows Metro, like literally whenever you open this, don't know if that's going to show up. Is it showing up? Oh, it's not showing up. The Windows Start menu basically is what I just opened. It's not showing up because I chose this particular tab only. And so in this case, how do you want it to appear as an icon? So obviously, because it's got the blue and the orange going on, I would change it either to white or to blue, because the orange has got the line around it. The line around it is orange, basically. So in this case, I'm going to go and just click on blue. and voila. And I think that works out best. But the other thing that honestly I prefer for it to do is use a white silhouette. However, I wouldn't use a white silhouette with this particular logo. The reason being is I did not make the words TS Realtor transparent. Like I didn't create, holes in them. So if I was to use a white silhouette, this is all you will see, you know. Um, and this makes it a very generic house shape, which you don't want. You'd rather you actually had the words carved in, that way you'll be able to create it. But if you've got something like that, then yes, use the white silhouette. If not, I would recommend staying with the original favicon as is. Okay, and once you're happy with that, go to assets, and then on assets, basically all you need for that one is to click on medium square icons, basically like you did with our Apple version. Click all the versions that you wanted to export in case you need them, and which you will, trust and believe you will. Okay, so regular icon and done, and then go back to settings and then keep scrolling. Mac OS or Safari, again, same type of thing. As you can see, it's literally made it into a little house, Unfortunately, with this one, it does make silhouettes. Because if I do that, it's just the A, and then it's got that one. There you go. Turn your picture into a monochrome icon, play with the threshold to get the best result. So with this one, at least it recognizes the words and it's kind of adjusted accordingly. And because the blue is kind of close, that's not too bad. So what I'm going to do is, let me see if I can change the threshold. Okay, yeah, the highest one is actually better. And so this is actually fine. You don't even have to do anything more. And then afterwards, it's got the path, favicon generator options, where it's got the path, version, refresh, compression, like the image start sizing, etc., the app name, any additional files. Okay. Now, because you have already given it an app name, you don't have to do anything here to specify it because it's already there. In the additional files, I do tend to tick on generate readme and then generate HTML code, and then I go back to path. And then in this case, now you just click on generate your favicons and HTML files. So it always takes a minute, but not too long. And then it allows you to actually be able to download them. Now, once we download that, we are then going to use that to select the logo that we're going to be using for the website. All right, so as you can see, it's offered you code that you can be able to implement on the website. However, because the WordPress.com does not enable this, you won't be able to do it. We've just used this for the purpose of being able to actually collect different sizes of the icons. So here it says download your package. Just go ahead and click on the blue, and then it allows you to actually download it. So I'm going to save that. I feel like I'm losing my voice in the process. Oh man. So let's see. Okay. I think it's got, oh yes. Do you know what? I keep looking down here, waiting for the download to show, but I forgot that Chrome has recently changed. And by recent, I mean literally just a few days old, recently changed how the downloads work. So now your downloads are actually all the way up here. You just have to click on the download button and it shows you where your files are. And you can actually click on the show in folder and find your file over there. So I'm going to go ahead and put this over this side. And then I'm going to remove this, right? And I'm going to reshare the screen. Okay. Oh, I don't know why it's taking its time. Okay, there we go. Okay, so this is the favicon file that we just downloaded. Okay, and so now the idea here, we're going to right click and we're going to extract all those files, which will take a minute, hopefully not too long. Okay. There we go. And so now with the favicon icons, you go ahead and open the folder and you find all the different sizes. As you can see, some of them have been exported as PNG files, and some of them are really, really tiny that you can be able to utilize. But what we are after is that one, the 192 by 192. If that one is still too large, we've got the 144 by 144 that we can be able to actually utilize. So now we go back right to the website. When we go back to the website, we can go ahead and change the logo. Click on change logo, click on upload files, go ahead and select your file, and then go to the favicon and then select that one. Okay, we're going to start with 192 by 192. And then let's see if that one actually works to our favor. As you can see, it's so much smaller, right, than the previous one. So let's make that. Oh, let's not crop out anything we don't need. And crop image. On crop image, now this is the size of the logo. If you feel this is too big, which in my case, I actually do feel it's a little bit too big still. So I'm going to go ahead and upload the other size. The other sizes available to us are the 70 by 70. And then there's 144. So in this case, I think I'm actually going to get the 70 by 70 because I think that will work out better. And then we're going to go ahead and crop that one. As you can see, literally so much more cropping for some bizarre reason. And then crop the image. There you go. That's so much better. Okay. The Sims Realtor social property. So you don't always, you have to be careful about having your logo be very ostentatious. You just want it to be a decent size enough to fit in the heading. So now that we've customized the heading, you can see at the bottom it says footer credit default. Okay. The other options offering you, it says hide. If you hide it, you have to upgrade. Okay. The other options, it's giving you website built with WordPress, WordPress.com logo, a WordPress site, etc. I always go for the WordPress.com logo because it's literally just going to display that little WordPress logo without saying much else, which does not deviate from your branding. As you can see, it's down there. Okay. So now the next step we are going to go to is the menus. The menus is basically the pages I mentioned. You need the home page, the about us page, the services page, and the contact us page. Okay. Services or shop or whatever it is that you are offering basically. And if it's not services, if it's just your portfolio, then go ahead and make the portfolio page visible. And so now we have not created menu locations as they call them. So in this case, we're going to go ahead and we're going to create, we're going to view all locations. And so in this case, it's got primary navigation and social navigation. So obviously the social navigation will have to take all the social media sections, which we have not created just as yet. The primary one, again, has got nothing because it still needs to be created, which takes us back where we go ahead and create new menu. Okay. When I click on create new menu, I can go ahead and label it. So in this case, I'm actually going to call it main, just literally main. It doesn't have to be anything longer than that. And then that one's going to be the primary navigation. So click on primary and then click on next. And then after you click on next, now it gives you the option to start adding the menu items that you need for the website. In this case, the items I am going to be adding are the about us section. So when I click on add item, as you can see, it's offering me the option to add a custom link, posts, categories, and tags. Even a tag or a category can actually be part of your menu item, because sometimes maybe you want people to just view items based on a post that you've made. So for example, if you're posting about maybe flowers quite a lot and you want people to find just the flowers section, you can literally create a tag that says flowers, and that can be your main menu item. When people go there, they'll see posts that are only relating or at least have got the word flowers tagged to them. That's literally what that option is there for. But for the most part, you find yourself using custom links and posts, custom links and pages only. Okay. In this case, we're going to create a new page. So I'm going to click in there and I'm going to add about. Okay. And then I'm going to click on add. And then we're going to click on contact. And then I'm going to click on add. And I'm also going to click on shop since we're looking to sell stuff, supposedly. And I'm going to click on add. And as you can see, as I'm doing it, it keeps buffering. It's because it's actually adding them live as we go. But it's not live to the public yet because the website itself has not been published, right? But if your website has already been published, once you click on save changes, whatever changes you've made will be visible to the public. That's why it's always recommended that whenever you are doing an update, a major update or haul of your website, it is recommended that you basically put a landing page, as they call them, so that people who are interested in the website do not get put off, but know that you're actually working on it behind the scenes. They don't see the website as messy, so to speak. And so in this case, we've added a shop item, shop page, contact, about, and home. And then the last one we're going to add is blog page, because we do need that one. Okay. Other pages that are important that you need to add, obviously, would be pages like for cookies, okay, cookies, because you have to tell people how you're going to be using their data, etc., that sort of thing. And then obviously terms of use or terms of service, you need those ones. If you're obviously got a shop, you probably might need a returns, returns and shop, when you have to do returns, etc., information, you might have to create that additional page. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm actually literally just going to click there. When you do that, that disappears, and then everything you've added is there. Now, here I'm looking at, is this the right order how I want these? It's really easy to reorder them if they're not in the way that you want them to be. And then something else I noticed, even if we had the home on here, right, it's actually not there. So I'm just going to go ahead and click there. Where is home? Ah, there it is. Has it been added? There you go. And then I'm going to go ahead and click there, and I'm going to click on it actually so I can rename it, because everything is in all caps except for it. So it's going to head and add it. And now with the home page, I'm actually just going to scroll all the way to the top, or drag it, click and drag, by the way. So click and drag. Home and about, and then contact us is actually going to go there. Blog is actually going to go there. This is the type of order that I prefer. So home, about us, blog, shop, and contact us. And then I'm going to go ahead and save the changes. Okay. And then I am going to go to the main menu, and I'm going to go ahead and create another new menu. If you remember, there's a social section for it, right? So create a new menu, and I'm just going to name it socials, and I'm going to call it social navigation. And then I'm going to click on next. And then here it's offering me the option to add the items. It's even like jittering for some reason. So when I add new items, literally here, I don't see any social options available, but you can create them yourself using the custom link. So for example, if you've got Facebook, you can literally put your Facebook page there, and then it will literally be on the menu. So people want to go to Facebook, they can actually click on it, and it will take them directly to your Facebook page. And if it's Twitter, the same thing, etc. And those can be put as part of your menu options. Would I recommend it? No. Simply because I feel like it'll be a distraction from people staying on your website, because once they click on those socials, which I'm saying, obviously you're going to have your socials on the sides, but not as a menu item, because they're going to be curious. Okay, so I personally wouldn't recommend it. So save any changes. And what is missing? Is main menu. Home is still showing like it's lowercase, which doesn't make sense to me because I changed it. I literally changed it, but never mind. Okay, so now we scroll back to the menu for the customization, where we are going to add additional things like the homepage settings. Homepage settings is basically where you decide what is going to be the first thing that people see when they visit your website. So in this case, the homepage settings is set to, the home page is set to home, which is fine. We're going to leave it as is. And your post page, remember we created now a blog page, right? So we're going to click on the drop down menu over there and then select blog and save those changes. And so literally this is the methodology of creating a WordPress site. It's literally after you've done the part that I just shown you, honestly, with this part, you just do a lot of fidgeting around and it's very self-explanatory. The other one is the colors. Obviously, in order to customize the colors, you either have to use site editor as it's telling me to do, or obviously it wants you to upgrade in this case. The other is the fonts. And again, it's updating fonts. This theme is now even easier. Use the site editor. So it's basically saying it's got a site editor, which is something new. So we are going to attempt it because I'm assuming that's the one that we were at before. But the reason why I didn't want to stick around there at that time is because I wanted to be able to create the menus that we needed. So I'm going to go ahead and click on use site editor, and it should take me back to that section with the dark side. There we go. You know, as I'm going through this live right now, I am realizing that I might have to do this in two parts because it is honestly quite a lot to dissect. It's a lot to kind of go through, especially with the new additions that WordPress has added. It's quite a lot because the things I have to walk you through is the navigation panel on the side. I've looked through at the settings. I still have to take you through how to create your first post. I have to take you through how to customize the pages once you're in the pages themselves. I still have to go through how to customize the entire design. So right now we're customizing the design. So I suppose we're covering that. But I think after this, to be honest, because honestly, guys, I am really tired. What I'll do is I'll come back again tomorrow where I will continue. And then we are going to basically take a deep dive into the custom URL side of it. Because right now, if you remember, we're still on the WordPress.com version of creating your own website. So yeah, this might be two parts. It might even be three parts because it is quite a lot. But either way, I'm hoping it's going to be useful because, like I said, I want to try and go through as many details as I possibly can take you through. Hence this live taking quite a long time. So the navigation, we went through that. If you remember, now that we've added all the extra bits, before it was just showing the home page. Now we've got home, shop, about, blog. Why is the home staying like this? I think we might have to. Okay. So hang on. Let me cancel that. Okay. So when you click on about, it's asking you edit page list. The page list is synced with published pages on your site. Detach the page list to add, delete, or reorder pages yourself. Detach the page list. No, we're not trying to do that. Let me have a look, see what it's trying to. There we go. It's taking me right in there. Editing a page, yes. And so this is the home page that we're currently editing. So as soon as, let me just go back so that you can see what, in case anyone doesn't want to miss. So basically what it's showing us right now is the home page, because the home page is the only one that's actually got design elements about it. Okay. So when I go ahead and literally just click on that, it literally takes me to go ahead and edit the home page. Now, in this case, as you can see, as I'm hovering around it, it's got the image. When I click that, that's the image. So if I want to change the image, I can literally click on replace and change it to whatever it is that we are trying to sell. And then here I can actually change that wording because it's already got it formatted. So it allows you to actually stick within the same type of formatting, which actually I think looks nice. It's one of the reasons why I chose this website to use it for the tutorial. And then it's got sections here that say shop now. So this is an icon that will obviously take people to the shop store. So when I click on that, it's basically giving me the option to edit it. So when I click on edit, voila. It's taking me to the shop. Hang on. I still want to edit this, to be honest. No, cancel. All right, so let's go back. It's definitely added a whole bunch of new features. Hello. Oh, there we go. Okay, the shop now page, the reason why I clicked on it, it's because I wanted to show you how the link section, link part of it works. Because even if it's there, it's literally a button. Okay. And as you can see, it's got the option here for link. Whenever you see this little, it's almost like that with a little dash in the middle, that's technically a link. And so in this place, how they actually created this to begin with is the good thing about WordPress, it actually offers you the option on what you would like to add on your page. And for this one, in order for them to add this particular section with a button that says shop now, it gave them the option, obviously, to go and select the button. Let me show you how that works. So for example, if I'm in this and I click enter and I want to add a shop now button within it, I can click on the plus. When I click on the plus, I can click on button. Type button. If I type button, the word button, the button comes on. If I actually spell it right, there you go. It says buttons. Payment. So there's all kinds of icons that you can use, and these are possible because of the integration with Jetpack. I think Jetpack actually makes a lot of these possible. So what we're after is the button. So when you click on buttons, the button actually comes up, kind of same to there, right? So the text, literally shop. There you go. And then you can go ahead and highlight it. And actually, you don't even have to highlight it because you're already on it, because the button is designed that way. Click on the link. And once you click on the link, hello? Why isn't it allowing me to click on the link? I literally have clicked on the link. No, not like that. Hang on, maybe it wants me to highlight. Let me double check. Nope, it's the same thing. So standardly, what's supposed to happen when I click on link, a link option should appear to allow me to add the URL where I want the shop to go to, or to actually go to the shop page, and it gives me the option to add the shop page. So let me have a quick look. Yeah, it's a button. Select buttons. No, we just want the link. Let me have a look here. No, it's literally, this is the place for the link. I'm not sure why it's not working, but in most cases it should work. Okay, maybe I'll troubleshoot it later to find out why it's not working. Let me see if I click on link here. Yeah, interesting. Why the link's not working? It's not working there either, which I find very interesting. This is for alignment, justification, center aligned, yes. So if I want to center align it, align middle, align bottom. Okay, nothing much has changed, to be honest. Okay. So I'm not sure why it's not allowing the link to appear, but hopefully I'll be able to troubleshoot it some other time, and then show you guys a workaround in case someone tries to do this and they face the same problem. And then here, connect to Stripe to use this block. So remember, it says it gives you an option to add a shop, etc., and then it takes a 10% of transaction fees, etc. This is where things like Stripe come in place. Once you connect Stripe, you actually can be able to actually sell your products in there. Would I manually implement them like this? I don't know, because I would rather I did it from the back end and then it auto-generated everything. And I'm assuming because this is the free version, the paid version, or should I say the custom URL, actually allows you to be able to implement them using WooCommerce. But obviously with this new editing system, this is how it's done it for the sake of promotion. That's my assumption. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to delete that one because I don't need it. Oh, is it frozen? Oh, it's gone unfrozen. What is happening? Have I frozen? Oh, I think I might have frozen. Yep, I have frozen because I can see that I have frozen. Or should I say StreamYard has frozen? Or is it Google? Oh my gosh, the whole thing has frozen. I think the whole thing has frozen. And I'm back. Okay, sorry about that, guys, for that little interruption. I am not sure what happened. Literally, StreamYard, not my computer, StreamYard completely froze and just basically froze out everything. And I was literally trying to like, what is going on? It completely froze. And look, I'm busy looking down this way because I've put like the StreamYard thing there, but actually the camera is actually right here. So yeah, it completely froze, which was so bizarre. So let me go ahead and reshare the screen that I was sharing before. It was that one. Okay, so add it back to the stream. If it will appear, it's taking its time. It's there. It should be there. This is where StreamYard can be quite problematic, I think, sometimes. Okay, so here we are. So I was basically showing you guys how what was I looking at? Yes, the shop option. Because for some bizarre reason, the link, okay, was not working. I'm not sure what's going on with WordPress, but normally when you add the button, once you click on it, it gives you the options on how to handle that particular button. Like, for example, you want to link it to a page, you want to link it to another website as a shop page, especially if maybe you don't have the shop page within your website. That link normally should work, but for some reason it's not working. So that's something I'll look into. If I have to send feedback to WordPress, then I'll go ahead and send feedback to WordPress. But otherwise, here it's even showing you how you can be able to display some of your shop items with the pricing and some information, and then add a payment option for those people who would like to purchase that particular item. However, like I was saying earlier, before it froze, I'm not sure if it froze whilst I was in the middle of explaining, is that with these types of situations, you will find that it's easier to have WooCommerce and use WooCommerce as your shop. That way you can implement everything on the back end rather than having to do it like this, because like this, technically it's manual. Okay, because literally, look, if I click on this, I can just replace that image. Click on this, I have to go and change, you know, the price. Click on that, it's literally all separate. Whereas if you use WooCommerce, it basically allows you to implement everything for one particular item in one section. If you're going to implement a sale, it will be able to kind of like sort it out from there. So this is kind of new and different, but I think it's there for aesthetics purposes. Okay, so I'm now going to go back without saving any of that stuff. So as you can see with this new basically site editor, these are the new bits and pieces it seems to have implemented, which I think are not bad because they make it easier for people who, again, are newbies, they're novices at this. This is actually not bad at all. In order to get to this navigation, I'm just going to go all the way back. Is it going to take me? Okay, I'm going to click on this. Hello. Yes, we're leaving. Thank you. Take me back, take me back, take me back to the home. There we go. Okay, looking at the dashboard, okay, we're going to go straight to WooCommerce so that you can be able to see what I was talking about. Let me see. Upgrade your store. Need more out of your store. Unlock the tools needed to manage products, orders, shipping, and more. Upgrade your store. Huh. Okay. So this is what I had a feeling about, because I was surprised that it would offer WooCommerce on a free version, because it, like I mentioned before, it's never really that flexible. And so I was in two minds about whether you were going to be able to actually add your products. But by the looks of things, no, you actually can't add your products. The only way you can do it is literally how the design element kind of showed it. So unfortunately, the bad news is for those who want to use the free version, you wouldn't be able to implement your shop in the way that you would like on the website. The good news is there's still a workaround. It's a little bit long-winded, which is what we just went through. You can add the picture, you can add the pricing, the item, and then connect your store to Stripe and embed the Stripe payment option. That way people will know what product is that they are purchasing from you, and you know what people are purchasing from you, and you'll be able to either deliver it either through download, or if it's a digital product that is, or through basically shipping it over to them if it is a product that you are actually physically selling. Okay, so that's the downside. I'll be very honest. As much as I like WordPress.com as an alternative and a great backup if you are starting off, if you are trying to create a more robust website, it's definitely not recommended because the limitations are very much high. Okay, you won't be able to add a WooCommerce store properly. You won't be able to add plugins properly. However, the beauty of it is you can add images, you can add pictures and things like that, embed videos. Yes, you can embed YouTube videos, etc., that sort of thing, and you'll be able to create your own cute little website. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go and I'm going to because it's still saying coming soon, which means we haven't launched the website. So roughly this is what the website looks like, and I think that looks really pretty. Okay, in customization, or where it takes you to, it allows you to basically change everything and maintain this format that is actually provided to you. But if you want to go ahead and change it, you are actually free to go ahead and do that. So if I click on visit site, it's going to take me to the viewpoint of how customers will actually see their website. Now, bear in mind, I've got quite a wide monitor. So if your monitor is slightly smaller, maybe it will be a little bit more truncated. But this is literally what it looks like. Now it's asking me to launch the site. I'm not going to go ahead and launch the site simply because I've still got stock images, etc. On it, right? And so yeah, so let's try and edit the page so that at least you get an idea of how to go about doing that, because I just roughly went through and I was kind of getting to know the new system that they've just implemented. But let's try and actually go ahead and edit it. And how I'm going to go ahead and do that, because this is the Sims Realtor, and I have actually created quite a lot of houses for the Sims, and this is for the Sims. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, so we are going to go ahead and edit. If you've noticed, I'm not using the navigation system that it provided at first. I would rather use this version, because this one allows you to see a lot more clearly what you are doing. So the other way you can be able to actually come to this page, sorry, I know I've kind of skipped a bit, is if you on your dashboard, I'm just gonna go ahead and skip. Okay, few pages, yes, just leave, that's fine. Okay, whilst you're on your dashboard, you can literally click on pages. As you can see, it's automatically taking me there. You can literally click on pages. When you click on pages, the list of all the pages you've created are going to show up. And then if you want to go ahead and edit a particular page, all you have to do is either click on it, okay, and it will literally take you straight to the edit option. If I'm not mistaken, unless they've changed it, it will literally take you to the edit page. Now, if you ever edited something and then you didn't back it up, or you didn't save it, or use those changes, it will always tell you that there's a backup version of this that's available, and you can either choose to restore the backup or discard it. So I'm going to go ahead and click on restore backup, because technically I didn't really do anything. It saved nothing, so whatever. And then it takes you to this section where you can actually edit your page a lot more freely. Okay, and if you notice right now, it's showing me page and block because I've not clicked on anything. Okay, page and block basically gives you a summary of your page, which is visibility of your page. Do you want that page to be public? Because you can make private pages that will only be visible to certain people that you've given access to. That's very possible. Or you can unpublish the page, maybe until you are ready to publish it. Then the page can either be private. So if I go ahead and click on public there, it gives me the option for private, only visible to site admins and editors, and then password protected. Password protected is where you can create a page or some information, especially if you're offering like a paid for service, and you want to offer certain things to only a group of people who are actually paying for your website. The password protected option allows you to actually lock that particular page with the password, and only the people you've provided the password to will be able to actually access that particular page. And I think that's a pretty cool feature. And then obviously the published date, which is today. It says today 9:48 p.m., which kind of shows roughly what time I started doing this. Is almost midnight now. And then template type is a header footer, and then the URL, and then obviously the author. The author is basically the person who's actually creating it. So for instance, if you've logged in as someone else, but you don't want, or if you've logged in, but you don't want your name to be seen as an author, you can actually create an additional user that you add. And then once you finish publishing, you can quickly use the drop-down menu and add the other person. They will be on the list as the other author. Or if, for example, you have been helping somebody else edit something else, right? Something that they've started creating, it will automatically change the author sometimes to you. And so in order to give them the credit that they're the main author, you can go ahead and actually switch the author name. That way, when people read it, they'll see who actually authored that particular page. The next part is things like featured images, etc. Now, when it comes to posts like blog posts, the featured image is very important. This is what that is. And then, but when it comes to things like the homepage, it's not always very, very important. Although where it can help is if you do add a featured image, when people are searching for your website on the internet, the featured image is the one that's likely to show up in the search engine. So whether it be Google Chrome, Safari, etc., where you're searching for it, the featured image will actually help your site look more inviting rather than just a link. The featured image actually allows for your site to actually show some sort of image aside from your logo, because sometimes if it's not the featured image, it will likely show your logo to your website. So that's what that does. The excerpt is basically a description of your website. This is actually important, which again, when people are doing a Google search or when people actually share the link of your main URL, not the URL of the About Us section, just the main link of the URL, the excerpt and the featured image are the ones that are actually going to show up when people actually send the link. If you've noticed, whenever you share a link to something, it always has an excerpt and it has the image that actually shows from that particular website. And then the other part is the discussion. The discussion is to allow comments. Now, this is a homepage. You do not want people having discussion on your homepage. So yeah, with that one, do not allow comments. So you can go ahead and not allow that section. And then page attributes, basically, this is page attributes, parent page, etc. So this is the home page. So technically the home page doesn't need a parent page. Sections that might possibly need a parent page are maybe within the shop section. Within the getting tongue-tied. Within the shop section, you can have sections that either say the categories, menswear, women's wear, and then under men's and women's wear, they will have their subcategory, their subsections, which will be maybe shoes, right? Shoes, lingerie, accessories, shoes, lingerie, accessories, trousers, tops, shirts, casual, smart, that sort of thing. So that's what page attribute is all about. But in most cases, when you're creating the menus in the section that I showed you in the customization, the attributions can be added there. And so we might actually go back so that you can actually see how that section actually works. But if truth be told, a lot of the things that I'm showing you here on rough are the exact same things that will apply on the paid version. And so because the paid version, or should I say the one with the custom URL, has got less restrictions, I am going to go in detail on how to go about tweaking all the little bits and pieces using that one, simply because it's got no restrictions and it will show you how much more you can be able to actually do with your website. And so in this particular part, like I mentioned, because I have not clicked on anything at all, it's just showing me the page and the block, basically. Now it says no block selected. Once I select something, the block one will actually come visible. But right now, because I'm just in the page, it's showing me the summary of the page and any attributes in regards to the page. And so now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to click on this picture with the flowers if I want to change it. So this is now, for example, if you, this is the template you've selected and you want to make the necessary changes in order to basically showcase your website, right? And so in this case, as you can see right now, it's saying 100% pure rose essence essential oil, our range, blah, 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 shop now. As you can see, this picture is showing like this petals. It's a beautiful picture, by the way, but you can only see half a bottle. That's because the picture they used is actually a landscape picture. However, for the sake of the website, they decided they wanted it to kind of like focus on a particular section. As you can see, once I've clicked on it, now the block has become visible, right? Here it says cover. Add an image or video with a text overlay, okay? Layout, inner blocks, use context, blah, blah, blah. With that one to be on a nested blocks will fill the width of this container toggle to constrain. And that's basically for it to kind of like appear in the whole section of the website when it's visible. So what I'm going to do is we're going to be doing a back and forth. So I'm going to do this. Where's that the one where I'm editing right now? Oh, here we go. There you go. Okay, so this is how the website looks. In the inside, this is how it looks. Okay, so right now it's saying, you know, focal point picker, fixed background, repeat background. We don't want a fixed background. We don't want a repeat background. This is fine as it is. So when we talk about focal point picker, this is what it basically does, where it picks what you would like as your focal point. So if I go ahead and click on update, and then I refresh, over here, it's changed slightly if you've noticed. So I'm gonna go ahead, I'm actually gonna change move it back because I actually like the way it was, and then I'm gonna click on update. See, it even gives you the option to view the page. I'm gonna go ahead and click open a new tab. I'm actually gonna close this one, and voila. Okay, so the changes are honestly very, very slight, if truth be told, with this one. But if you want to go ahead and change it, this is what I was trying to lead to, is you literally just click on the image. There you go. Just be careful. You see inside, I clicked on the inside. Now this is literally if I'm not mistaken, I think it's column. Yeah, a grid. This is a grid. The grid is the one that's actually holding on to this, the writing. But what we want is the image, right? So click on the image, and then I'm going to click on replace. Now remember, this is the Sims Realtor, right? So I'm going to go to the Sims folder on my desktop, and I'm going to go pick on there. But before I do that, I'm going to show you this particular process. So when you click on an image and you want to replace it, you click on it, you see these options will automatically pop up. Click on replace. When you click on replace, it gives you the option to select media or upload or use featured image. Okay, so in this case, just for the sake of the tutorial, I'm going to click on select media. When I select media, it gives me the option to either use Google Photos, which you can synchronize, by the way, with the account, Pexels, free photos, or Openverse. Openverse is actually more new because I was used to Pexels, but this one is a new one that they added. So if you are, like I said, offering a service where you can get away with using stock images, because that's the only way you can reference what you do, then go ahead. But if it's something that you're actually selling, as in a physical product, it's important that you actually have pictures of those physical products, which obviously you will be able to find available on your desktop. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that picture again, and then I'm going to click on replace. On replace, I'm going to go ahead and click on upload. And then on upload, I'm actually going to, since I'm in gaming already, thank goodness, I'm going to go to screenshots. And then within the screenshot, I'm just going to scroll around and find where I've got a bunch of pictures of houses that I've made, or properties, etc. Let me see, what do I have? That's one, but do I have the outside of this house? Oh, good. I've got the outside of this house. So I'm going to go ahead and select all of these. Oh, is it only allowing one picture at a time? Okay. This is where uploading using your media is actually very important, because then you can upload loads at once. Right now, it's actually only allowing me to upload one picture at a time, which is fine. I'm just going to expand this so I can see the picture that I'm trying to Let's go back to it. There we go. So this is the image that I am actually, you know what? No, I'm going to go and use another one that's more complete, because I noticed here I hadn't finished building that particular top of that house. So I don't want to use that. I know this is for the sake of tutorial, so it doesn't really matter, but yeah, I can be like that sometimes. So let's scroll up. Did I find another property? Okay, hang on. I might have found one. Okay, this is the inside of the store. Do we see the full? No. Let's continue. It's really weird. Whenever I'm scrolling through my screenshots for The Sims, I easily find all the properties that I make. But now that I'm actually looking for a property, I actually can't find them. Sod's law, right? So insane. Okay, come on. We're trying to stay here for only an hour was what I was hoping I would actually spend. Yeah, that definitely didn't happen. Okay, this is from a mini machinima, so let's go back down. Okay, don't be like me. When you're ready, like I mentioned, have your images folder ready with all your images in there. It's going to save you time and having to do what I am literally doing right now. There you go. Okay, we found the one. Yes, this one is completely complete. So let's find an image of the outside of the house that's actually quite spectacular. Actually, this is fine. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to take that picture. As you can see, it's gone ahead and it's added the picture. But obviously the issue that we have here is the wording. There's so much going on with the image. The good thing about WordPress, it actually also allows you to edit your images slightly. Okay, so for example, if you're faced with this kind of dilemma where your picture is really, really busy, but you do want the wording to be there so people know to go to shop for the item. So just go ahead and click on the picture. Let me click away from it. Just make sure I click. Okay, click on the picture. We're not replacing it. We're not changing the position. We are going to click on that menu, and then let me see, duplicate. No, copy style. Oh, what was that? That scared me. Copy style. No, let's go back. So there is an option that actually allows you to change, apply duotone filter. Let's see. Yeah, that's not what we're after. We don't want that. So that's one thing. What's that one? Align. No, we don't need that one. Change content position. We don't want that. Toggle full height. We do not want that either. So I'm going to go ahead and disregard that. Click on it again. And I'm just going to go and try and look through this side of the menu. Repeat background, fix background. No. And then I'm going to do it like this. Obviously, for those who've got busy pictures, I'm doing this and it seems like I can see the words more clearly, but I want to do it in a way that for those who might face an issue with a very busy picture and they want to be able to have the wording still visible to them. Let me see. We don't want duotone. Do we want to block? Let me have a look, see what the block spacing is. Okay, that didn't change anything. Did it change anything? No, it didn't change anything. The color combination may be hard for people to read. Try using a brighter background color and or a darker link color. Yep, so it's detected it as well, which is literally what I am trying to fix. So overlay opacity. There we go. So if we do this, obviously, the problem is we want the picture to show, right? Let's look at the overlay. Okay, and then let's add the opacity of the overlay. Okay, white, because that way you can still see it. And then what I'm going to do in this instance, I'm actually just going to change the color of the font. This case, dimensions, advanced, medium, text color. Yeah. So the text color in this case, I'm going to make it black. That way you can actually see it better. text. Okay, so for those who might have missed it, basically, whenever you're editing text, images, or anything in within your post or blog or pages, once you've clicked on it, this side actually appears with options in order to be able to edit them. And so in this case, the shop page, as you can see, it seems fine. It doesn't need anything else because it's already black, so the black line is still visible. And so if I was to go ahead and update this, and then go ahead and go here, refresh, this will allow you to see. So 100% pure rose. As you can see, I whitewashed it slightly so that you can still see the image, but also be able to still see the wording as visible. So that's a workaround when you're facing this kind of dilemma where you find you really love the image and that's the image that you want to use for the banner or the website banner, but you're being prevented because of the fact that it's clashing with the words. This is how you can go about making sure that you still have both and the website actually still looks good. So as you can see, I've managed to edit that section. And then if you want to go ahead and edit more sections, you can literally go ahead, like literally highlight them and re-edit them, retype them. If you want to add sections, okay, let's say, for example, you've only got that page as a page for the product that you're selling, and you want to add more to it, you literally just click within any of the spaces, and then hang on there. When you click in any of the spaces, you will find, can you see that line that showed up? It doesn't always show up well, which can be annoying. That's the downside. But once you hover a certain place, it shows you the blue line. So if I was to go, not down here, but here, in between, the blue line will appear because it's in between the blocks. And in between the blocks, you are allowed to add more images. So for example, you are, I don't know, you want to showcase a YouTube video on what you do or the process that you work. So all you have to do is click on YouTube, literally I keep saying click, start typing YouTube. So let me go back. It's in the search panel, literally just type in YouTube. Once you start typing, it literally shows up. Click on YouTube. Once you click on YouTube, it gives you the option to enter the URL. So in my case, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to open YouTube, and then I'm going to go to one of my other channels where I have a speed build of my Sims channel, where I actually have a speed build of and it's just gone to midnight, where I have a speed build of, hang on, let me go to view my channel, and then I'm going to go to videos, and then I am going to go to channel is what I'm after. EPCreativeMedia, there we are, and videos, and I'm going to go to the speed build of that particular build that I've just embedded, which is this one. So I'm just going to copy it. I'm going to click on share, which will give me the link. Copy the link. So if you've got the YouTube link, literally, then you go back to the website, editing option there, YouTube URL, and then paste. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and embed that. So guys, as I was going, I just noticed my sis over on Drop the Mic is about to go live to discuss the whole Nini League, Cynthia. And honestly, I've been wanting to chat about this. So I am going to be going offline in a bit. And like I said, this is going to be a two-part thing. But if anyone has got any questions, I'm actually going to drop the link in the chat real quick, literally just for a few minutes. If anyone has got any questions, this is your opportunity to come and actually ask me anything that you want to come and ask, if it will allow me. What's going on? For some reason, hang on, let me do how odd. Okay, I'm going to come to you in a bit. So as you can see, after I embedded, I think it's frozen again. Has it frozen? No? Or is the WordPress being weird again? I think StreamYard is being weird. honestly, StreamYard, it's acting up like crazy. I don't know what its issue is, but like I was saying, I wanted to just drop a link. If anyone had any quick questions, I'm gonna drop the link in the chat. Hang on, branding. Where is it? I'm trying to get the link so I can drop it in the chat. Ah, there it is. Okay, save. Flipping heck. There we go. I'll be able to take a few questions for the next few minutes. And then I am actually going to be going over to my sister's channel so that my sis over on Drop the Mic to just try and support her. And also the live she's got scheduled is a live that I actually want to chime in on. But if you've got questions and you want to come and ask me, you can go ahead and join in the link. Otherwise, you can leave them in the comments section or in the chat as you're watching. But I'm going to quickly, for the last time, because StreamYard is playing up, it thinks I've got no internet connection, which is bizarre. But I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to share the window. Is it that one? Yes. So you can just see the outcome of the YouTube embedding. There we go. Let me remove that banner, the branding for Elaka. There you go. Okay, so once you've added the link, literally as soon as you've added the link, I love this about WordPress. It literally automatically embeds the video. And so for those who might have missed it, I'm going to go ahead and remove it, delete that, and I'm going to do it again. Okay, so whatever you want to add to it, literally just hover over. Wherever you see the little blue line, it will allow you to add a whole new section. And by that, I literally mean when you click on the plus button, there's a whole, obviously it gives you the ones that you most recently used. But if you click on, hang on, let me hide that real quick. If you click on browse all, okay, it will give you a whole list of options, which is what makes WordPress really work well for beginners, because you don't have to go searching far and wide for bits and bobs that you can actually be able to add to your website. So I click on browse all. When I click on browse all, it opens up an entire tab on your left hand side where literally there's everything from blocks, patterns to media. So as you can see for blocks, which is pretty much almost everything is kind of block, that's how they've now made it to be. You've got paragraphs, headings, and it even gives you, see, I was about to point as though you like sitting behind me. It even gives you previews of roughly what those things look like. So you've got paragraphs, headings, list, quotes, code, details, preformatted, pull quotes, which is like if you've got any feedback from clients, etc., tables, verses, like poetry. You can see use special spacing formats or quote, song lyrics, etc., footnotes, classic style. You can still use the classic style, although I don't know if anyone. It's even got an AI assistant, which is actually pretty cool. I did test it out on the other one. It's actually pretty cool. As you can see in brackets, it says experimental, so do not expect it to be perfect. For instance, if you're trying to write something, you're having a bit of a block, a mental block, you can actually have it help you come up with the better phrases and stuff. So AI is kind of good like that. Writing prompts. So as you are writing, it will help try to finish sentences for you, etc. That sort of thing. Or what's your favorite? See, writing prompt. What's your favorite? Hang on. What's your favorite place to visit, etc. And maybe that will give an idea of what to block about. Markdown is the one I mentioned. Text formatting syntax, that is convert to HTML. You can emphasize text or make it strong with just a few characters. Now, the markdown is basically one that allows you to emphasize bold, italics, etc., that sort of thing. And then the syntax highlighter code. Then there's media, images, gallery, audio, music, the cover, This is pretty cool if you want to make it look like a book type of thing. So there's honestly quite a lot of things you can be able to utilize. Video, basically, if you want to add your own video. Although in most cases, I don't know if this one allows you to embed a video directly, but if it does, then that's good. If it doesn't, it will likely ask you to sign up for VideoPress, which is one that you pay for in order to have videos embed directly rather than retrieving them from YouTube, which is ironically just talking about VideoPress, and this one is VideoPress. Image compare, when you are doing those blogs where you always talk about different facts and things like that, and you want to show people a before and after. So for instance, even with this particular picture, if I had the time, I would actually be able to embed the before picture for you guys, so that I can be able to show you like, okay, this is the before and this is the after. So it's got those options. But again, when I'm doing the paid version of the website, I'm going to go through a lot more detail in all of these. Whether it's going to be a part 2 and a part 3, I'm not sure, but I do want to make sure that I cover every ounce of WordPress creation, so that those who are beginners, have all the tools at hand. But for the most part, the most important part is the registration, which I showed in the beginning, and just getting your website started and getting your logo done and getting the size of your logo done, which is what I showed you when I went to Favicon Generator. So if you are not sure, you can literally rewind this video and then just go ahead, and if I'm going too fast, just reduce the speed of the video, and you'll be able to see every single step that I actually have taken. Once this video has processed after this live, I will make sure to activate closed captions. That way, anyone that's not sure of what I'm saying, maybe if I'm speaking in a certain way, hopefully the closed captions will be able to actually assist for those people who are not sure of some of the words that I've used when it comes to referring to certain sections as well. And so image compare, it's got a slideshow. You can add a slideshow. You can add stories. Can you believe that? You literally can add stories to your website. I think that is so cool. Tiled galleries. I've actually used stories before, because when they first introduced it, I was actually so excited because I thought it was so cool that WordPress is doing all of this. Bear in mind, WordPress is freeware. Like literally, apart from having to pay extra for plugins or if you're paying for hosting, I think it's amazing that people have access to this, and initially it cost them nothing but their internet bill, literally. And that's amazing. Design elements, things like the buttons, which what we looked at. And again, I'm going to look into why the link wasn't working earlier on. Columns, groups, rows, stack, more. This is like if you've written something and you want to read more rather than them looking at the whole thing. So this is good for like excerpts. Page breaks, separator, which is if you've got something long and you want to put page separators. A spacer, which basically adds like a white space between blocks. Table of contents. This is if you've created something that's I don't know, less resembling like a book. Layout grid, widgets such as archives, your calendar, category list, custom HTML, latest comments, where you want people maybe to see your latest comments. This goes in the widgets on the side, by the way. When we talk about widgets are the ones that are on the side panel of your website. They're never within the main section of the website. Widgets, you find them at the bottom or at the side of your website. And again, these are all details that I actually need to go through, because honestly, it is quite a lot, it is quite a lot. But honestly, getting the basics first and then adding more to it, that's what matters. But either way, I want to make sure that you know what to expect as you become better and better at utilizing WordPress. So page list, RSS, search, shortcode, social icons, tag cloud, star ratings. Like if you're rating things, you're reviewing things like that, you've got the option to give them star ratings. It's literally there. You don't have to go anywhere else to find it. Repeat visitor. So basically you can control block visibility based on how often a visitor has viewed the page. Event countdown. So if you've got an event coming up, you can literally put a countdown. So even when your site is not ready, you can put a a landing page where you can place the event countdown, or you can just make one page visible with the event countdown, where you say the website will be launching in such and such a day, and it will be counting down every single day. The timeline, this is if maybe you're showing a timeline of certain things. So it's really cool. Blog posts, obviously, post carousel, themes, navigation, site logo, site title, post, like literally all these things are available to your disposal. Embeds, which is like Twitter. Well, we're side-eyeing Twitter right now. Let's move on. YouTube, SoundCloud, Spotify, Flickr, Vimeo, Animoto, never heard of that one before. CloudUp, Crowd Signal, Daily Motion, Imgur, Issue, even if Issue have become a little bit greedy. Kickstarter, this is if you're trying to fundraise. So Mixcloud, Pocket Cast, like literally Reddit, Reverb Nation, if people are still using that, Tumblr, WordPress.tv, since when? Amazon Kindle, like with my website, I've literally got my book embedded on the website, Pinterest, Instagram, Facebook, all the social media platforms, Eventbrite even, you can literally embed that. Obviously Crowd Signal, which is polls, voting, applause, feedback, surveys, quizzes even. So you can literally make your site even more exciting. I think people need to understand the reason why I felt the need to show a tutorial on how to create your own website is because I feel like when it comes to a lot of these social platforms, there are some people are made to feel like it's such a monopoly that they can't enter. But no, anyone can enter, first of all, when it comes to social media platforms. With that said, even if other people might appear as though they have the monopoly on whether it be YouTube or Facebook or TikTok or Instagram, or Twitter or wherever other pages, spaces or whatever other places, the most important part, it comes back to you being able to own your website and you being able to utilize your website to bring a community onto your website, because anything can happen to even WordPress.com, because we are using them as our host, hence them having the domain. Whereas if I use WordPress.org as a CMS, I am having my own website. So if anything happens, and even if WordPress.org is down, my files are still safe, right? In a server somewhere. Do you see what I mean? My files are still safe in a server and I can take them elsewhere because I own the domain. Okay, I own the domain. That's my intellectual property. I do with it as I please. And therefore, I can change my site to be a HTML site, to be a WordPress site, to be a Wix site, to be a Squarespace's site, and so on and so forth. Do you see what I mean? So that's the beauty of being able to own your own website. And that's the reason why I decided to teach this tutorial. Obviously today I feel like I was a little bit all over the place because I think partially I am exhausted because it's been a long day at work. But also I think I was a little bit excited that I was like a kid in a candy store trying to show you everything. But tomorrow I am going to be back where we are going to just wrap up this section, and then we are going to go and proceed to go through fully step by step on how to create your website using your own custom URL. And also I'm hoping tomorrow, because it's Saturday, I will have ample time to prepare some notes. That way we can easily follow everything step by step, because this one literally I just got home and I literally set up the live stream. Let me even come out of this so that stop sharing. There we go. So yeah, I literally came home, set up the stream really, really quickly. And then I was basically ready to just quickly, because I thought, well, it's been a week since I promised to show you guys how to set up your own WordPress site. So let me go ahead and do this. But I'm hoping you were able to get some pointers, because this is nearly 3 hours long. But tomorrow I'm hoping with all the notes ready, we're going to wrap up this, and then I'm going to bring people up who want to ask questions in regards to this type of website, which basically is free. And then afterwards I'm going to close the lines, we're going to carry on, and then we're going to start with how to go about creating your own website using your own private domain. For those who maybe want to utilize the live tomorrow to actually go ahead and follow the steps as I go, and you don't know where to go in creating, or should I say, finding a company for your hosting, I do have a company that I use. And the company that I use is actually called SiteGround. That's the one that I use for hosting. I do have a referral link that you can be able to utilize. I'm going to put it in the comments. I'm going to leave that in the comments. That way, even if you're watching this on replay, you can still be able to click on the link and actually be able to follow the link and get the referral. If I'm not mistaken, if you use my referral, I think you'll be able to get, I think, a month free or a certain percentage discount for your service. So that's the one that I use. But otherwise, before I head out, guys, thank you for sticking around. Whoever's been watching for nearly 3 hours, I do very much appreciate you coming and supporting my channel. So make sure that you give this video a thumbs up. And of course, please do subscribe if you're watching over from YouTube, or if you're watching over from Facebook. Go ahead and follow the page that you're watching from. Give the video a thumbs up. Share it with other people that might want to watch it or are interested in watching my videos or my content. Please feel free to browse through the channel, because I do have videos where I show you how to use Clipchamp, which is a Microsoft's free editing software, especially if you're into video editing, that sort of thing, but you are trying to be cost effective. Clipchamp is the one. I give a full tutorial because I did a live session for that one. I also show you how to go ahead and create social media. If you want to update your social media banners, etc., I have a tutorial for that. And then which other tutorials do I have? Which was the last one that I did? I can't fully remember. Was it thumbnails? I can't fully remember. Was it, oh, how to edit Instagram videos? So I've got that one as well available. So as time goes by, I will literally be dissecting a lot more, because I do want to show people how to edit videos fully. These are full videos from beginning to end using Premiere Pro. I want to show people how to edit pictures, how to remove backgrounds, which I'm so excited about that one. I want to show you guys how to edit backgrounds using After Effects, because now you don't even have to have green screen with After Effects. I absolutely love their new feature, and I can't wait to be able to share how to do that, because the same effect that they've added in Photoshop, they've actually implemented it in After Effects. That's why I like to call After Effects the Photoshop of video editing, because it works in a similar fashion to Photoshop. And with time, I want to also be able to show you how to go about creating your own magazine or your book with chapters, etc., that sort of thing, using InDesign. So I'm going to be going through quite a lot of things, all the way to how to utilize Microsoft Office software if you don't have Adobe and all this, you know, more complicated software. I want to show you how to use the Microsoft ones to your benefit, because you can do quite a lot of editing, including video editing, believe it or not, with Microsoft Office. Clipchamp is amongst them. So yeah, with that said, have I got anything else to say? I think honestly that's it. For those who want to support my channel, you can go and support my channel via Patreon, where you can pledge every month and cancel anytime. Or if you want to donate to my endeavors, especially when my computer breaks down, I need to fix it, you can go ahead and donate at PayPal.me/Eficom Group. Otherwise, guys, from myself, honestly, until next time, please do go over. I'm going to be jumping over to my girl over Drop the Mic. She should be live, I think, right about now. I'm going to go over there and join her. So from myself and all the people that have been supporting me, I thank you from the bottom of my heart. Even those who are not interacting and you're just watching, and you're just watching from your TV, etc., I really do appreciate every single view. So please do share the video whenever you get the chance. Until next time, I wish you all the blessings that God has to give, and take care. Goodbye.